Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope everybody is well. Just thought I'd do a video, a stream video. I just wondered if anyone was around to hang out, wanted to come in and hang out, show some comic books, talk about comic books, that kind of thing. Hey mate, I'm just starting on my own. It looks like it might just be me on my own. I'm used to that. But just I thought try and do a stream. I want to do more streams. I've got StreamYard. I want to do more hangouts with people, and I've got. You're not on for another half hour yet, anyway, are you? Mate? You said 45 minutes. So I mean, you've got another half hour. I mean, this ain't gonna last half hour because no one's gonna pop on. So I've actually just got a couple of packages. It just saves me from doing a video. I could have done a video, but I thought I'd save them for a stream. And unless anyone wants to pop in, I can give them a link. But if not, I'll just do it on my own. Let's do it on my own. All on me Todd. Right, I can find the best way to get into this package. Hello. Hi, Random Rick Reviews. Do you want to come in and hang out with me? You can come in and hang out with me and talk comic books if you like, or whatever else you want to talk. I will pop the link in the old whatchamacallit. And hope for the best. Hope that you are Random Rick's Reviews. Right, yeah, I haven't got anything exciting. I've just got a couple of cheap ass comic books, basically, normally from Facebook sellers. I don't believe there's anything wildly amusing. Yeah, okay, so you're in chat, so that's no, yeah, fair enough. So you won't be able to come and join me in stream then. That's fair enough. That's all good, all well and dandy. I think Saturdays as well this time. There's probably lots of people doing other stuff as well. So like I say, Simon's about to come on and do some stuff. So I'll probably step on his shoes. Okay, so nothing crazy in this package. Oh, that is a weird one. Right, so I'm trying to get these. It's the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's the last work of Kevin O'Neill and Alan Moore, my stepdad. I'm a clone of Alan Moore, obviously. Yeah, not quite, but yeah, these are all like based on old. I think this is based on the old TV Times, I think, from the UK. And this was like illustrated masterpieces. That's obviously based on the old comic books illustrated, or so I can't remember what it's called now. There's another one that's based looks like an old UK comic book. But this is the last part of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So I've got number 1 and number 2. So I just need to get the other 4 and I'll have a complete set. I think I've got most of the other ones. I've got the... You can come on for a bit, Sleepy Reader. I'll give you a link, mate. I shall give you a link. If you want to come and hang out, we can talk. We can talk and talk, basically. That's about it, really. Talk, show some comic books. There's a link there, mate. If you wish to join me for a comic chat. This one's horrible. This is like a lenticular, but it kind of hurts the eyes. It kind of makes you feel a bit queasy looking at this one. Oh, does it actually move as well? It does move, yeah. I didn't realise that. And even the advert on the back's lenticular, I think. It's 3D. No, it's not lenticular, but it's 3D, I think. It's horrible. It kind of makes you can't quite pick it up here, but looking at it, it's kind of like, ooh. I've never seen a 3D. How the hell do they do that? Some kind of lenticular thing. I don't know. Is it done in different layers? Is there different layers of pictures placed over each other to get that effect? That's quite freaky. But but I don't know if I needed this one. I started collecting this World's Finest run, Huntress and Power Girl. But this is not really part of the run. This is like a branch off into something for some reason. What does that turn into when you move it? 2 completely different people. A new woman. That's not that Naomi, is it? Is that Naomi, maybe? Oh, there's Damien, a.k.a. Sleepy Reader 666, the number of the beast. Hello.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
I just wanted to do more Hangouts, really. I don't do enough Hangouts on my channel. I've got my my cover slingers, but I was like, got some packages to open. I normally have to do a video. And I was like, well, why didn't I just do a Hangout and see if anyone wants to come and hang out, you know?
And for once, I was free.
Yeah, cool. More stuff. I wanted to do a weekly show. I'm going to be talking with Ranger Sly about doing a weekly show, but I'm going to call it the Legion of Substitute Streamers, like the Legion of Substitute Superheroes. And my vision
a substitute streamer.
Yeah,
I'm going to be right back. I have to find some headphones.
Okay, mate. Yeah, cool. That'll give me a chance to open up the other package. Yeah, it's my internet is showing up as really crap at the moment, Simon. It's like I'm getting like one little bar is all I'm getting on. I mean, my camera is never great anyway on this. It's annoying because it's a reasonably new laptop and the camera has never been good on it. It's rather distressing, but what can you do? And my internet is showing up as really poor. I'm trying streaming my Fallout. Yeah, it's rubbish. It's like, shall I buy another camera to plug into it? And it's like, oh, is it worth it? Maybe one day. It's like it's probably a relief that my face is not too visible anyway. You know, it's like you don't want this mug in like high definition. What's that you got there?
I just bought this yesterday at the store. It was so cheap. I don't even know what's inside. It's called the Best of DC, one of those treasury editions. So I'm going to open it here and see what's inside. What did they think in the 1970s was their best material?
We shall see. Probably something you've never even heard of before.
By Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams, and they've got a Flash.
That's not the same Reaper that they did Batman Year 2 with, is it? Was it Batman Year 2 or Batman Year 1 with the Reaper character?
I don't think so.
You know the one I mean, though, with the big.
Yeah, I remember that gun. Year 2. I think that was maybe a new villain at the time.
Yeah, I thought it was, but I was saying it's like the Reaper there. It reminded me of that for some reason. I'm sure that villain was called the Reaper.
This is the kind of thing where the Reaper turns out to be, the old guy.
Who wants a bit Scooby-Doo
or something.
It's not a bit Scooby-Doo or something like that.
Almost like Scooby-Doo.
I want to go over it. What would get pesky Batman?
Anyway, it's got beautiful.
So how's life treating you?
Neil Adams art.
Cool. How's life treating you at the moment? Where in your part of the world?
Pretty good. My daughter's just started going back to school, so we're ending the long period of time of torturing her by having no social life for a year and a half. It's tough on the 12-year-old.
Man, yeah. Oh, it's tough. Yeah, definitely. I'm kind of glad it never happened to me when I was like 12 or 20 or anything like that. It would have been a nightmare.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't have minded at 12 because I wasn't that sociable, but in my 20s, when I was
daughter's
out
quite
gigging every night, it would have been a right pain. Yeah.
This actually is turning out to be really cool. It's got some Joe Kubert art. It's got a Superman story.
Okay, cool.
It's got I don't know if
any
you're familiar
stories,
with Alec.
any like stuff that you remember.
Nothing that I've read before either, it was good for me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but so I think when they call it the best of DC, they weren't really lying. And I think I got this for $5.
But nothing you actually recognize. That's all right.
Well, it looks like, I recognize the characters. Like there we've got Supergirl and Brainiac.
Yeah.
So
Brainiac
classic
5.
stuff.
Yeah, cool.
And I'm always happy to get Neil Adams.
I thought it would be like, I was wondering if it would be like really well-known ones kind of thing, like, Yeah,
I bet when was this published? In 1977, they might not have known which things the fans thought were the really classic ones.
Yeah.
Some
we're going to resonate down.
They thought were good.
Yeah, it's true. I suppose it's like impossible to know. Well, it'd be interesting, like if anyone's ever spoken to any creators, saying, "Did you know this was going to be a hit? Did you know this was going to be like massive or remembered so many years down the line?" Like when Neil Adams was sitting there drawing the Joker on with playing cards. Like, did he think that in the future it's going to be going for hundreds of freaking dollars?
Right, and they don't really know how excited people are over their comics or not. Right, when they were selling that, Superman comics back then were selling a $500,000 a month or something, just because parents bought them for their kids.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't as much of a feedback loop.
No, suppose not. So that's interesting.
So you've unwrapped some more comics there?
Yeah, I've unwrapped some more comics. I don't remember asking for this one, but it was in my pile. But it's up. I mean, yeah. Hopefully, it's all full of one-off stories. Yeah, probably full of one-off stories.
That'll be all one-off short stories.
Yeah,
good. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I pick up the odd horror like one-off stories, but I think it's the first time I've got a sci-fi one. But it's 112. This didn't go for 100. Oh, did it change title at some point?
Yes, and I think they brought it back in the 70s after it had been going in the 50s and 60s, and then disappeared, and then they brought it back.
Right. Yeah, this is from 1980. This one.
Yeah, late 70s or early 80s. There's probably really cool artists in there. Usually show up in those ones.
I often wonder what it is about logos that manage to sort of suggest. Because looking at this, it just looks like mystery in space. It's like I can picture that. That's for some reason that says mystery to me, and somehow it says space. But how do they work? Is it just in our imagination? Do they train our minds to think those fonts go with that kind of theme, or is it just? Am I just imagining things? I don't really know.
I bet they do kind of train us.
It says mystery in space to me. Yeah.
There were people who were experts in making logos, right?
Yeah. All right. Apparently, Ranger Sly likes that end run. Love that end run of Mystery in Space. So that's not the last one, though, is it? I don't know if it's the last one in there, but it's cool.
I don't know when it ended.
Who is that? Is that?
It was. Sorry, I think we have a bit of a delay.
Oh, probably Joe Kubert. I didn't realise.
Nice.
Yeah, my internet's very slow, so I'm not sure if it's on my end.
Well, we are about
CP's right. I was about to apart. Yeah, my internet's been really crap lately. They charge enough for it, but I keep coming on and getting just one bar, and it's a classic, nice world's finest. For some crazy reason, I'm picking up. I'm really weird in the way I sort of buy and read my comics. So some comics I'll get them in and I'll put them aside and I'll wait until I get the run before I try and read it. And other ones I read straight away when they get in. And sometimes I forget, am I reading this one as it comes in, or am I putting it aside? And so I've got them all. For some reason, I've been putting these aside. Without reading them. I think, so why the hell am I doing that? Because I'm never going to get the whole world's finest run. What the hell am I putting them aside for a later day? I should just read them as soon as they come in. Because most of them probably... That's what I was thinking as well. All one and done. So it's the perfect one to read as they come in. For some reason, I haven't been, but I need to put it on my pile to read soon. But at the moment, I've got fair few to go. That's
World's
cool.
Finest, is that the Superman team-up book? Every issue, Superman teams up with someone else?
No, it's Superman Batman.
Oh, Superman
Batman every week.
Okay.
Yeah, DC Comics Presents is Superman plus one other.
Right.
Yeah. This is a nice fat Flash comic. Nice 80-page giant, yeah. Spider's not in the greatest condition, but I'm not a high-grade collector. I'm just get what I can collector for as cheap as I can. I love these trifurcated, bifurcated, split covers. Some people don't like them like this, but I think these are really cool when they're split up like this. You can see all the different action going on, all the different little blurbs. I love all that. I think it just really draws me in.
Me too. It's look at all the fun you're going to have reading this comic.
Yeah, exactly. Right, nice Superboy.
Is he an old man there?
No, Pete Ross has taken over his costume for some reason.
Okay, I couldn't see it.
Yeah, it's not a very good camera. But yeah, Pete Ross has taken over and Superboy's looking at him. Golly, Superboy is really Pete Ross, my best friend. How I wish I had superpowers like this, like his. But for some reason, Clark Kent doesn't know that he's Superboy, and he thinks that Pete Ross is Superboy. It's going to be one of those. Silver Age madness. I love even the price. Even the price boxes are cool. It's the big bold square with 12 cents in it. Even that looks good. Back then, the stories were more important to show on the cover than the dull pin-ups of modern covers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cover-wise, I definitely prefer the old books way more.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like trying to get my sensational She-Hulk run. So you don't see these very often at all. I'm surprised this sort of. I think they suddenly got to a point where they got really expensive or something, but they see a whole lot lesser than you expect to. I don't seem to see them around that much. I know there's a couple of them have got stupid price on them because of like skipping rope or blinking.
Right.
Yeah.
And has there been a TV show or a movie announced now? That may have been driving up the prices.
Oh, probably. But it was kind of weird because like I wasn't sort of planning to buy it. I was looking on eBay. And I saw like the first 27 issues, and I thought, oh, that's cool. If I manage to pick them up, and I'm sure I'll be able to get the rest fairly cheap. I thought to myself, that's half the run. I'll be able to get the rest without too much problem. And I think I got it on like the second bin or something like that. Like 27 issues, less than £1 an issue. I think I got the first 27 for. But then you find that there's one in there that's like £200 because it's got that suggestion of nudity kind of thing. Oh, Jesus Christ, grow up, people! Trying to get this run because it's just fun silliness.
Super Friends.
I don't think we ever had this show in the UK. I don't think Super Friends ever came over here. So I only know this as like people in America. They all chat about it and talk about it. And I remember seeing the adverts because that's the thing when we were kids. You look in there, a big centre spread of all the cartoons you get to see in America. It's like, oh, look at all these cartoons, man. Oh, we don't get any of these. Oh, why don't we get this cartoon and that cartoon? It seemed like you had like 5 hours of cartoons in the morning or something like that. And it was like
every Saturday morning it was cartoons.
Yeah. We were well jealous.
So you guys had things we didn't have. Like, did you have a few? Well, probably before your time, but like Thunderbirds.
Yeah, we had Thunderbirds. Would have been repeated in our day, though. Yeah, Thunderbirds
and Doctor Who was really hard to see here when I was a kid.
Oh, right. Joe 90 and all that kind of thing. Do you remember Joe 90 and same Jerry Anderson?
No.
That was the guy who did it with Jerry Anderson, wasn't it? He was the guy who did Thunderbirds, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know his name.
Yeah, I think it was Jerry Anderson. It was called Super Marionation. I think it was called. It was all puppets, wasn't it? It was called Super Marionation, which I thought was quite funny.
Yeah, I would see a little bit of it, but then I wouldn't get to see the rest, and I would.
Yeah, and there was Captain Scarlet was another good one as well. Captain Scarlet, indestructible Captain Scarlet.
Was he a puppet too?
Yeah, it was all puppets basically. Matt, if you want to come on and hang out, mate, I'll give you the link if you want to come and hang out. We just kind of link, if you've got anything you want to show off as well. This one I just got it going for really cheap, like £1 or so. And I thought, well, yeah, I don't know the character. I know it's quite a short run.
Right, that's one where you do want the whole run to read it. I think it's like 7 or 9 issues.
Yeah,
but it definitely forms a whole. And then the story ends in some issue of the Defenders, actually.
Well, I'm actually trying to collect Defenders as well, actually, so that would be cool. That's another run.
You might already have the issue of the Defenders with Omega the Unknown on the cover, and that's the fun.
Right. Omega the Unknown. It's a rather disco costume, isn't it? That's definitely 70s costume. He hasn't got I was wondering if he had a medallion as well. That would really complete the look if he had a medallion. But then galoshes that he's wearing on his boots.
It's a crazy.
Like
those boots are crazy.
Yeah.
He was Steve Gerber's takeoff on Superman.
Okay.
He's an alien who never talks.
Oh.
But keeps showing up to save people and stuff.
Okay, that's interesting. How did they get a story out of that? Right, these are. I think you like Lois Lane as well, didn't you? I've seen some Lois. Yeah, because I've seen them on your. I'm very new to Lois and Jimmy, but I've kind of gone Jimmy and Lois crazy. I kind of pick them up whenever I get a chance. But they're not cheap. But then again, you get them fairly good. Let's take out the thing. They're just the craziness of them. They're just bonkers. And I just love the cleanness of the art as well. It's just super. This sort of says comic books. It
really does. Yeah,
I much prefer this kind of look to the art than the hyper-realistic kind of stuff that we had. The bulging muscles on everything. It's like even having to see the boot prints, like Batman jumping out of a building. You see the print of his boot as it's like flying for the air. So yeah, it looks good, but this is just as good. This is it's just got more.
That is a beautiful, beautiful art in Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen, and some of the old Supergirls have some really nice art.
I'm trying to collect the Supergirl ones as well. There are not so many of them, but I don't see them around that much. But
there's a lot of Supergirl is the backup in Action Comics.
Yeah, Adventure. Oh, and Action. I know she's an Adventure.
She was in Action, then she moved over.
And she's an Adventure. Yes. Well, this is just because I'm trying to collect this DC special run. It's Three Musketeers and Robin Hood.
That DC special series is all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just never know what's going to be in there.
Crazy stuff in there. I won't take it out. It's stuck pretty well. This sellotape sticks quite hard to these Mylars, isn't it? But every now and again I get a book in the Mylar. I don't actually own any Mylar myself, half of what people have sent me. So this is quite cool.
It makes you feel like you've got a really high condition comic when it's
yeah. Well, that's number 25. I've still got quite a few of those to go. This is for my New Mutants run. It's just a reprint, I think, of the first Cable. I don't think it's the original. It's like a third print or something. I'm not too sure. But it's gold. So this one isn't worth much.
It's got a lot of heads.
Yeah, I think the original one's like a first print is worth, I don't know, quite a bit, I think. I'm not too sure. But this one only cost me $5, so that's good. Ooh, I've got a sub 25 Conan. That's cool. It's my first Conan under number 25.
So that's probably Barry Smith or Gil Kane inside. I'm not sure which. Yeah,
I'm not too sure myself.
But I'm very happy whenever I find those for a good price.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Oh, that is the second print of first appearance of Cable. Yeah, so I don't think it's worth much, that second print one. Here's a nice old bronzy, I think it's bronzy horror.
Oh, yeah, definitely bronze.
House of Secrets.
And those always have some great art in them.
Yeah.
Amazing how many good artists were hidden away in those House of Secrets, House of Mystery comics.
Yeah. And this is the thing is that I kind of didn't have that many horror comics. I think I had a few when I sort of sold them. Once a good few years ago, I sold all my horror, all my war, all my basically anything that wasn't superhero, I sold them. I didn't have masses, but I sold them because I think I must dedicate to superhero. I haven't got enough room for everything. But since then, I've just turned into a hoarder, and I've been trying to get back what I got rid of. And I started off with about 5 horrors. Now I've got a full short box of horror select stuff. I'm probably going to have to try and put it back into a believable long box or something.
Yeah, I've got a ton of those. Those DC horror books are often very affordable, so I just grabbed them.
Yeah. I was thinking to myself, I'd just try and concentrate on one and get one run of horror and leave it at that, but I just keep buying whatever I see, basically. I was going to try and concentrate on the Secrets of the Haunted House. I thought I'd go with that one. It's got about 50 issues or something like that. I think I remember reading a couple of them when I was a kid. So I thought that's the one I'll go for. I'll go for that. But I've only been able to pick up about 4 of them. I just keep buying a House of Secrets, House of Mysteries, whatever I happen to see. As I have a nice shiny Mylar, number 93 of Conan. With Belit.
I never know how to say her name.
Yeah, it's potato patata. Let's call the whole thing off.
That's a nice cover. What number is that? I can't see the numbers in the blurry.
87.
87.
First time in colour, The Stalkers of the Summit, one of Conan's most fabulous adventures. There you go. I've just completed my Cole run, so that's on my read list. I'm about that many comics away from getting into either Cole. I think I was going to read my Impact run, so I've nearly completed my Impact run, so I was going to read those. I've got a couple missing, a couple of Impact missing.
The Cole run will be very good.
Yeah. Nice old Superman there. It looks like Lois has turned him into a lion or something. You are a fool to think only kryptonite can affect you, Superman. With my mighty magic, I now turn you into a beast, and the spell will remain until you agree to marry Cersei. Oh, it's Cersei, not Lois.
Not Lois, Cersei. The evil witch.
Yeah. From Wonder Woman, isn't she?
Right. Wonder Woman, and then originally from The Odyssey by Homer.
Yeah. I think he stole it from Marvel. I don't know.
Oh, probably. Marvel time travel through.
Yeah, something like that, probably.
Right, there's a Cersei in the Eternals also.
Yeah, so different spelling though, isn't it? She's they're kind of based on mythology, aren't they? The Eternals.
Yeah, a lot of their names are almost the same as
Icarus
instead of Icarus.
Yeah. I remember because where's that? You don't have any idea when that film's coming out? 'Cause that film's supposed to be coming soon, isn't it?
I don't know what happened to that. I haven't heard mention of it recently.
They've got held
it must
up
be
with
eventually coming out.
Yeah.
And they have a current Eternals comic going on, which they often do because they're trying to connect it to a movie or something.
Right. I remember reading a couple of them Eternals when I was a kid, and I just couldn't get on with it. I remember one of those comics, I said, "Oh, what's this, Eternals? Oh, I'll give this a try." And they never lasted in my collection for very long. I don't have any now. It's like I'm pretty sure I just remember reading them and going, I don't understand any of this. I don't get it. It's probably too many characters. Situations all a bit odd. I don't know how why they decided to make it into a film is beyond me, but
it's one of Kirby's much more confusing comic book.
Yeah. Maybe I'd get it more now, but back in the day, I remember it was just head scratchingly weird.
Yeah, I think it still is. I think it's still kind of a head scratcher. I still like it, but that's because I now like everything by Kirby. I have to, have everything.
Yeah.
By Kirby.
And maybe when you read it as an adult. Yeah. So maybe reading it as an adult, you get a better understanding of what's going on, kind of thing. But as a kid, this didn't grab me.
Yeah,
there's a few like that. I remember thinking, this is just weird. I don't get it. I remember reading the War of the Worlds one issue, and I was just like, what? No, I don't get this.
Which the War of the Worlds with Killraven?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and also the 2001 Space Odyssey as well. I remember reading one of them. It was like, what the heck is going on here?
I really like the 2001 Space Odyssey now because it's just so wacky.
Right.
It's not like Jimmy Olsen wacky, but it's another kind of wacky.
Yeah, spaced out, blinking acid trip wacky, isn't it? Kind of.
Yeah, it's like whatever crazy thing Jack Kirby thought up that week.
Yeah, some of his stuff is really strange. Like looking at the DC kind of thing, it's like the Black Racer is just kind of like the Silver Surfer, but on skis. Right. And he's like, you look at it and you think, I don't know. Yeah, you can see why he's not used that much. They don't use him a great deal, but he's kind of like, it's pretty wacky. Ranger Slide didn't find it confusing. But then, was you reading it as a kid though when you read it? Because I remember reading it as a kid and just found it. Maybe it was too verbose or something for me, and I was just like, I don't know. I remember just not particularly liking it much. That's all. You got anything you want to show off?
Sure. Let's see. I just got a Marvel feature, an Ant-Man issue of Marvel feature. I'm going to open it up. I think the interior art will be P. Greg Russell, but I'm not sure. I've been trying to collect this whole Ant-Man run, and I'm only 1 or 2 issues away. Yep, P. Craig Russell, early P. Craig Russell art.
I don't know if I've ever heard that name before. P. Craig Russell. I don't remember hearing that name.
He actually was on the War of the Worlds with Killraven. And he went on to be kind of a cult artist. He's still around now. He's doing the Norse mythology book with Neil Gaiman at Dark Horse. So anyway, this is a series where Ant-Man gets stuck at more like mouse size, and has all these adventures as a small guy. So he's got like a nail that he's fighting with, and he sewed his own clothes and things like that. That's
almost a dead spit of an Atom cover as well, isn't there? There's an Atom cover where he's fighting a cat.
Right.
I suppose it's kind of like maybe you say that. Didn't the Incredible Shrinking Man have the same thing as well? The movie, The Incredible
That's what it's all based on.
Incredible
Shrinking Man fighting a cat or a mouse.
Yeah.
There's another issue where he has to fight a bird. So he's not fighting superheroes anymore, just small animals.
Yeah. There's one of the Atom where he bizarrely befriends a minor bird, and he has like a minor bird as a vehicle to ride around on. It's like
flying around on a minor bird.
Stroke hench person or sidekick or whatever, because it actually helped him fight crime for at least 1 issue anyway.
That's funny.
And he went from minor bird to Hawkman later issues, didn't he? It turned out with Hawkman later on. We've got Matt Woods popping in. Hey!
Hello.
Hey, Gray Man. Nice to meet you.
Hi, mate.
Nice to meet you, Matt. I got a Marvel premiere with Hercules. I think this is a one-shot. And I got it because it was a Jack Kirby cover. I think the interior art is by George Tuska, who I'm not a big fan of, but I'm trying to collect Marvel premiere, yeah. I'm trying to collect all the Jack Kirby comic covers from the 70s.
Right. Wow, that's quite a few.
Yeah.
Have you got a list?
He did a lot of covers for Marvel when he came back.
Yeah.
Here, and I'll show you 2 more that I got. I got Werewolf by Night #2.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Mike Plug art.
Yeah.
I'm all about the artists when it comes to the Bronze Age.
Right.
And I don't have #1. It's probably going to be I'm collecting a lot of Werewolf by Night, but it's going to be a long time before I find a #1 I want to pay for. And I love this cover of #3. That's really cool. Some kind of
I've got them on my list. I've got them on my list to buy, but whether I'll actually get around to buying them is all, we should wait and see.
It looks like this priest has conjured up this demon that's attacking the werewolf. Mystery of the Mad Monk.
Has it got a bull head or something? It looks like it's got a bull's head. Has it got a bull's head like a minotaur or something?
Kind of like a bull's head, yeah. I hadn't thought of that because it's green, but you're right. Like a minotaur in armor.
Yeah. Strange.
So I was excited about those. Those are the ones I picked up today.
Yeah, cool. How you doing, Matt? You all right?
Hey, I'm doing fine. I was watching your show, and you guys are showing some really nice books, so I figured I'd stop by and give it a little look-see here.
Yeah, go for it, mate. You can show some books now. I've run out. I've opened all my packages. That's all my packages are all open.
Got quite a few books here to show off here.
Yeah.
It looks like a very cool comic book room there.
Thank you.
Are you up in an attic space?
What's that?
Are you up in an attic space?
My house is an A-frame, and I'm on the second floor, and I have knee walls on the side, and it almost looks like an attic. But
right,
teenage son and I, about March of 2000, him and I just decided to redo this room, and it was just raw space before that. But we decided to, make it a personalized comic book room.
Cool.
Looks really nice.
Thank you.
What's the climate like where you are? Does it get too cold up there or anything like that at any point, or
I'm in
too
Pennsylvania?
Hot,
so we have winters and pretty nice summers, but it doesn't get real hot, doesn't get real cold here, so it works out pretty well.
Right, that's cool, yeah. Because sometimes some places in America you've problems with climate control, don't you? Like too hot or something like that. For you, I don't know what happens. Comics get too sweaty or something, or I don't know what happens with comic books. I know we don't have that problem here in the UK because we're Great Britain because everything's great. We've got no snakes, no spiders that kill you, no crocodiles, no sharks, no earthquakes, no tornadoes. That's why it's great. Yeah, exactly.
If a book gets too hot, the pages can get brittle, is what the worst damage it could happen to, which it can be significant. But I just picked up a cool book just today, actually. I got a Amazing Spider-Man 569, first appearance of Anti-Venom.
Anti-Venom, yeah.
If you guys look really closely, you can see your reflection in there. Hey, guys.
There we are.
Yep, there you are.
That's cool.
Did you buy that slabbed, or did you get it slabbed yourself?
I found it slabbed.
Does that reflection count as my first appearance in Marvel Comics? I just need to know if I need to pick that one up.
I definitely am going to count that as Gray Man's first appearance.
A cameo.
Does that make the value go up or down?
Down, probably. What's he doing in my comic? I've just reduced the price of your comic. Do apologize.
It'll be all right.
Yeah, Anti-Venom, like a lot of the new Marvel characters, I only know them because I used to play an online game on Facebook, like a Marvel fighting game. So like Anti-Venom and Spider-Man Noir. I never read them, but I know them from their. Is there an Agent Venom as well?
Agent Venom? I be honest with you, I never heard of Agent Venom, but
maybe
there isn't. I read a lot of comic books, but I can't keep up with all of them.
Yeah, no. You literally, if you stop reading for a year, you're out of the picture, aren't you? You go completely out of it because everything happens so bloody quickly in them now. Yeah. But too many big events nowadays, not enough interim issues. It's like you're either building up to a big event, or calling off from a big event, preparing for the next big event, isn't it, nowadays?
But Hey, I just showed you a newer book I got today. I just got a older Silver Age book I picked up today.
That's a really nice one.
This has a nice Roy Thomas. Man, that glare is hard to get off.
Yeah.
Nice Roy Thomas signature right on it. Actually, this book came from the UK.
Okay.
That's funny.
That's cool.
Yeah, the shipper, he packed it bulletproof so that it made it across the water here. But
how comes it worked out as a good option for you then? Was it not cheaper to get it from in the US, or was it still worked out the cheapest?
The shipping was ridiculous high. That being said, the guy gave me a good deal on the book, so it kind of worked out. It was about the same. Yeah.
That's a super iconic cover. I remember they used to have posters of that cover. That you could get if you joined Marvel Marching Society or something.
He stands out, doesn't he? He stands out like the background, kind of like a greyish kind of background. He sort of really pops, doesn't he, on that cover?
Yeah, yeah.
I always like these ads on the back where, this one you mail away, and if you sell so many subscriptions, you get something in the mail for it. But I always like that whenever I'm looking at comics to see the little history goes along with it.
I've never heard of anyone who actually did that, like sold the subscriptions to Grit or to selling the seeds.
I actually worked with a guy who back in I take that back. I used to work with him. He just retired, but he did that back in the 60s, and he said they actually sent the stuff that they said they would.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But other than him,
that's another one of those things. That's like the cartoons I used to see advertised in the American comics. Like that kind of thing. Well, why can't we do that over here? That sounds like a good way of earning money. And like sea monkeys. Oh man, why come I can't get sea monkeys over here? They look amazing.
I had sea monkeys once. You couldn't even see them; they were so tiny.
I know. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I couldn't get hold of any of those things. I would have been wasting a lot of money on X-ray specs that did bugger all.
My mother would not allow me to get the sea monkeys, and at the time I didn't know why, but this was about maybe a year or so ago. Her and I were talking, and she's like, "Yeah, whenever she was a little girl, she got sea monkeys." She goes, "Yeah, they were just little brine shrimp that you could barely see. That they weren't like the people that were in the fishbowl.
No, with little tridents and like putting their arms around it. She's like this."
He's wearing a crown. He's got to be.
Yeah. What a load of baloney! Yeah, they could get away with. They could just advertise anything to kids, couldn't they? And get away with it.
Yeah, it worked though. I wonder how many millions of dollars they made.
That's some of the crazy.
Yeah, it must have worked. They did it for so long.
Yeah,
some of the crazy kung fu and karate people that were advertising as well, like send off for a book. You can take on 10 enemies in one go, kind of thing. Learn the skills, become the deadliest martial artist, and it's like, how many people wasted their money on that? I wonder.
I always like the ones where you had the really skinny guy on the beach, and then you had the buff dude right next to him.
Yeah.
You do the program for 2.5 days, and you'll become giant. But yeah, I don't think that ever worked for anyone.
I wanted to do that when I was the very first comic I got. I wanted to send in my one thin dime, and then I would get a body of a He-Man. And my dad talked me out of it. He said that you're just going to get a catalog selling you more stuff.
Yeah, my cousin actually got that. My cousin actually sent off for one of those Charles Atlas kind of things. I'm not sure it was Charles Atlas or what. I don't know if he got it from a comic book. I don't remember him reading comics, but I know he had that. And it was all about, is it called dynamic tension, where like there was no like weights or anything. Literally, you just got to tense your muscles for like 20 seconds, or like push against the wall for like 20 seconds, and it was just like doing that basically. All about and I think he did it for about 2 weeks. He was like, well, this is you expect you're going to get a massive body in seconds or so, but yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I tried the dynamic tension when I was 11 too.
You didn't learn any superb martial arts skills there, no?
No.
Fair enough.
So let's see the next books you guys have.
I've gone through all mine. I've gone through all everything that
I have some more I can show if you want.
Yeah, I have a handful here. Not too many, but I have a handful.
I'm just
want to show some more.
Well, I want to see yours there, Sleepy Reader.
Okay. Well, for me, because normally I'm really cheap, this was a big purchase. I got this
23.
23, the first appearance of Red Sonja. And so that finally completes my early Conan run.
Nice.
And my shop owner put $130 on it and then sold it to me for $93.
Even better.
And I don't know if I got a good price or not, but I like giving him the business. So
well, right now that book is super hot because they just announced the actress for the Red Sonja movie.
Oh right.
Oh, they're not doing a Red Sonja movie, are they? Can't they wait till I've actually bought comics before they start making?
No, you better hurry up. Or actually, no, you better wait.
I'm telling you right now, all the Conan stuff, all the Red Sonja stuff, that stuff is cheap. You know, I'm comparatively cheap.
Right.
It's about ready to blow up because there's going to be the Red Sonja movie, and then Conan's going to be on Netflix. So if you can pick those books up now, that's a great buy at the moment.
Yeah. Well, then I'm glad I've completed my run of all the early Conans.
That's great timing.
I get a feeling it's going to be one of those ones I'm not going to manage. But never mind. It's all fun. Never say never. I might win the lottery tomorrow.
That's the Werewolf by Lunchtime asked if that's the last Barry Windsor Smith issue. It's the second to last.
Yeah. Issue 24 is the very last one.
Right. And that's a beautiful issue. That's like my favorite issue of his. But I already have that.
I got a couple more books here. Let me see.
What number is the first Elric?
Elric? Is that number 12 or 13?
14.
14. Okay. He knows his Conan. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I have the largest, and I feel confident saying this. I have the most complete Conan collection in the world, at least as far as comic books go.
Okay.
It was printed by Marvel, and I don't care if he was like just a side character. I have it for all of Conan. Now, some of the newer stuff, I don't have all of the Savage Avengers variant covers, but I have all the other variant covers, and then same thing with Dark Horse.
Oh, wow.
Do you have Savage Tales number 1?
I have.
That's the one I don't have.
What's Savage Tales number 1? Is that his first appearance?
That's the first black and white magazine he was in. And it's very expensive because it's the first Man Thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
9.4. Wow.
Oh, I'm telling you, I'm a Conan dork, if you will. But then I have another awesome book here.
I love that one. I love that cover.
Savage Sword. But they even had a 97 issue. What was it? Conan Saga. And it was just a reprint of.
Right. Those are all reprints. Yeah.
Stuff. But anyhow, you were talking about that 24. I just sent this off for Roy Thomas to sign. He signed it. When did he sign? December 16th. And
cool.
Look, I had it in the collection for years, but I had the Conan number 1 here.
Oh, yeah.
Roy Thomas is at CGC doing another signing. I am debating about whether or not to crack this book and send it back down to get his signature. But I don't know. This is a debate that I'm having internally. It might be a YouTube video, in fact.
Does that cost quite a bit to get that done, get it signed and reslabbed?
I think somewhere between $100 and $150, and I'm not sure what that'd be in pounds.
Yow. Yeah, even in dollars, it's a lot, mate.
Yeah.
We're much cheaper collectors than you are.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Me, I'm always doing things on the cheap. You have no idea that. This original Conan, I probably paid less than $100 for originally. Which is a lot of money, but for that book, that was a good price.
Right. I have a couple of copies of that, but not in nearly as good condition. So that condition really drives the price a lot.
Absolutely.
I'll probably just settle for a reprint when I come to do my run. I just settle, if I can find a reprint, I just go with that. I'm not too fast. Now and again, I get the big price book. If I can find a reprint of it, that suits me, just so I can read it.
Reader copies, man. That's what it's all about.
Well, yeah.
I love that Conan 23 you just showed. That's a great book.
I've got a Conan 18. Did you see the Conan 18 I showed earlier? I've got Conan 18. My lowest Conan at the moment. I showed it.
Oh, right, that.
Yeah, that one. My lowest Conan so far. But like, I'm really late to the Conan game. I only got my first Conan about 2 years ago because fiversrevenge AOK'd me like a few like Conans, and because I was like trying to stick to superheroes. I'm not going to read all these kind of different kind of comics. Stick to superheroes. I can't connect everything. I was thinking to myself, but I was like, I read a couple. I was like, oh man. Now I've got to add those to my list. Damn you sending me these Conans now. And I thought I'd try see if I could get 1 to 100, but now I'm getting all the way up to 205 and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, there's plenty of those to collect.
It becomes a disease. Conan is so Roy Thomas is such a great writer. He is, he made Conan so well written. You just want to keep reading and see what happens next.
Yeah.
I try to collect all the Roy Thomas
sword books.
I kind of want to get the Elric one because my housemate's name is Elric. He's like named after Elric from the original books. His dad was a big fan of the Elric books, Michael Moorcock. So he named his son Elric. And I think I'm one of the only people in the world who has Elric comics given to him by someone called Elric.
That's cool.
So that's pretty interesting. That's my small claim to fame.
That makes me think his dad was cool.
Yeah, his dad was all right. His dad was cool. Like I didn't speak to him.
Back to cheap comics. I've got this Strange Adventures, which is kind of, I think it's just a reprint issue, actually.
Okay.
I love this cover where the birds are talking about the man they have in a cage.
That's awesome.
Prisoner of the parakeets.
That is great.
That's awesome.
I don't think I've seen those ones. Strange.
And I've been picking up Son of Satan. He is my name's Damien, and his name is Damien, so I always feel a kinship to say the Son of Satan.
Is he Damien or is it Damien or
Damon or something
Damon,
like that?
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, close enough.
So that was a Marvel Spotlight 15, and then I got these I got last week.
Do you have any strange 16. Birthmarks in the shape of 360s at all on your scalp?
Yeah, people keep asking me about that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm Sleepy Reader 666.
Yeah.
Of that question I get.
Yeah.
Number 17. I love the idea of hell, and you as a heavy metal musician might relate to that. So I like stories about people who come from hell.
Yeah, Demon. I like Demon. Demon's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, the Demon is very cool.
Yeah.
At least when Jack Kirby was drawing it. Number 20 and number 22, where he's facing off with the Ghost Rider, or teaming up with the Ghost Rider, I guess. And Satana.
Yeah. That's a great series to read right there. Like, you've been dropping some really great, the Werewolf by Night's a great read. The Son of Satan's a great read. Very detailed and just a lot going on in a story.
Yeah.
I've not read any
the
Son of
70s
Satan,
Marvel horror was a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely.
It's kind of like so many of the Marvel premiere, Marvel Spotlight, Marvel Fanfare, and it's like I keep thinking to myself, do I want to try and get the whole one of these? It's like, I don't know, it's just too bloody confusing. I think there's a Marvel, the first Red Sonja is that a Marvel premiere?
I think that's Marvel Fanfare, maybe. No, Marvel Feature.
Marvel Feature.
It is Marvel Feature number 7. Yes.
Okay, I thought she had a whole run of. Oh, I don't know. It's confusing.
Then she got her own title. So a lot of these would start in those features or premieres, go for a few issues, and then they'd spin off into their own title.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find that.
Very cool. Thanks, Dino.
Yeah, here's a Marvel feature number 2 with Red Sonja.
I've got a few of them. Yeah. That's it. That's one of the ones I'm going for.
And these have great art by Frank Thorne. He's kind of an underrated artist who was hot for a brief moment there when he was doing Red Sonja.
Oh yeah, he passed away recently, didn't he? I think he only passed away this year, didn't he?
That sounds right. Yeah, maybe he.
Varangian Vigilante did a feature on him, I think, after he died. Yeah, he's got great art.
Yeah, I love his art.
I was reading a later Conan the other day, and I think it's Val Simex who did the art on Demon.
Yeah, he did Demon at some point.
The third Demon series.
He was an artist for Conan in the late 100s.
That's yeah. Because I read it. Because it's funny. I'm not really good with telling eyes normally, but it's like a couple of times last week I was reading something, and it's just like one panel, and I looked at it and goes, "Oh, that's so and so." Literally, all the rest of it I'm watching, I didn't have a clue who it was, but I got to one panel, and it was like a siege or castle. Everyone's holding up their weapons up in the air. There's all these axes and stuff being held in the air. And as soon as I saw it, it just dead spit of certain scenes from Demon, and then I got it just from that. I was like, "Oh, I recognise that." But I'd read the whole comic book until I got to that last panel, and it's just something about. So I don't know. Maybe it's the way he held the weapons in the air, but just from that one panel, I realised it was. I thought, I know this guy. This is the guy who used to do Demon. I'm sure it is. I went to look. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, cool. But I don't know.
I have his whole Conan run, which is about 20 issues. I have a whole run where he signed the inside cover of every single issue.
Cool.
Now, C-Mix is a great artist, but you were talking about the Marvel feature, Red Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me want to look at the whole run.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was never too sure if it was Val was a man or a woman, to be honest. I thought it could be Valerie. I wasn't too sure what.
I'm still not sure.
Okay. But so it might be a woman for all we know. Yeah, they're all cool. Yep. They're all good covers. But
you know what I just discovered in my pile? There's Marvel feature number 2 with Red Sonja. And there's Marvel feature number 2 with the Defenders.
Okay, yeah,
there were 2 series, I guess, one right after the other, called Marvel.
Yeah,
feature. I did not realize that.
Confuses the heck out of you.
There's Marvel Spotlight, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah, the Son of Satan is Marvel Spotlight.
Okay.
I'm gonna need to get my Cole run because I know where it is. Anyway, we're on that kind of theme anyway, so I might as well go and get them to have a look at.
Right. I'm gonna have to show Greyman. The first appearance of Elric or
Elric.
Yeah.
I wish Barry Smith did a whole Elric series. That would have been fun.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. Who owns the rights to Elric right now? It's not Marvel.
Well, I think it's owned by the original author, Michael Moorcock, who wrote the novels.
Okay.
So he's rented it out to different publishers at different times.
Yeah.
Because I think he was in First Comics and in Pacific Comics and various other places over the years.
Yeah, he seems to keep jumping. So it's hard to keep.
And now there's these European albums that have Elric in them. I have one somewhere, but I can't find it right now. I wouldn't be able to find it right now.
Hey, Greyman, here's what we're talking about.
Yeah, cool.
First appearance Elric.
Cool. I remember reading an Elric story in a Epic. Remember the Epic magazine from Marvel? There was an Elric story, a 2-part, I think, in that one time.
Oh, really?
The Epic magazine. Because that was kind of like not exactly X-rated, but slightly more adult kind of comic, wasn't it? I remember
a little bit of nudity or something.
Yeah, I remember him making sweet, sweet love to some woman in the comic book. He's like, "Oh, this is interesting." a young preteen me, whatever it was. It's like, "Oh." Anyway, so I've got my Cole run filled at last.
Nice.
They're not great. I managed to get like most of these are really someone was selling like a big batch of them, for only about £1 a comic or something. I think it was. It was like no big price. I thought, yeah, we might as well go for that. Does anyone know the story between Colin and Conan? I mean, did Conan come first then in Marvel Comics, and then they thought, well, we give Colin a try, or
they both predate Conan Comics. A writer by the name of Roy E. Howard.
Yeah.
To send off stories into a Weird Tales pulp magazine from the 1930s, and he started selling Cull stories. He was like kind of the starter, the whole sword and sorcery guy. And one of his King Cull stories got canceled. They just didn't accept it. So he just kind of rewrote it, put a new character in there, Conan. And, the story was Phoenix on the Sword, and Weird Tales accepted that, and it was just very popular. So then Roy Howard just kept on making those stories. I think 32.
Is it Robert E. Howard? Robert E. Howard, is it?
Yes, Robert E. Howard. Yes.
Yeah.
They predate comic books.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about in the actual comic, I mean, what happened? The Conan comic come before Cole comic, and they sort of, well, Conan's doing well. We'll bring out Cole because Cole only goes for about 29 issues. I just wondered how one managed to make it and the other one didn't. Is what I'm kind of pondering, really, more than anything.
Technically, this is the first appearance of Cole in comic books. He was in it for just one panel. He was mentioned, but he wasn't like really in the comic book himself. There was a scene where they were going through history, and Cole was mentioned. But
it's hard to say why Conan's more popular than Cole, though.
It really is.
Yeah,
but he is. He's way bigger.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I just wondered.
And what did Cole live like 1,000 or 10,000 years before Conan or something like that? But they're in the same universe.
Is that? It's about the technology doesn't seem to have changed at all either. No, it's like they've not even invented motor cars or anything yet. By Conan's time, they're very slow at developing stuff. I suppose maybe in a world where there's magic, maybe science gets left on the wayside, kind of thing. Who knows?
Well, Cole was the king of Atlantis, and then Atlantis sunk, and that was the end of Cole.
Right. Yeah. So maybe civilization kind of rebooted at that point. Maybe that Conan would have been his people would have been ape people at that time or something. Who knows?
I think in theory there might have been even more magic at the time of Cull, and a lot of it faded away by the time of Conan, but I'm not sure if that's really accurate or not. That's the impression I had as a kid.
Quite often talk about the ancient magics in time, so yeah.
It'd always go into a tomb that would awaken some ancient magic sorcerer who's been dead since the time of Cull or something like that.
Yeah.
What is that one?
That is a fire run you have right there of those Cull books.
Yeah,
they're cool.
And you haven't read any of it yet?
No, there weren't much to read.
That's a really good read waiting for you.
Yeah, I've heard the sweet covers as well, really cool covers. But I enjoyed the Conan one, so I don't see there's any reason I shouldn't enjoy the Cull.
Right.
I think of old
writer on those. Does it say on the front cover?
Well, no, there's nothing.
I don't think they said back then.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nothing's
I think the writer changed a couple of times on the Cull run.
I think of Cull. I think of the nursery rhyme, Old King Cole. Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he.
Maybe that was the inspiration.
Maybe.
I want to say that it was that maybe Roy Thomas started it, then Jerry Conway took over, and then maybe some other writer took over after that, but I'm just not sure.
Did Tolls the Doom start in Cull or in Conan, and did he get used by both of them, or
both? Yeah.
I think he was originally a Cull villain in the old Weird Tales.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. Again, I read the paperback books, but when 40, 50 years ago now.
Well, that's the same here. I did read them, but I don't remember what happened and what story. And I should probably go back and reread them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not enough hours in the day, is there? Not enough years in the life to be able to reread everything. I go through my comics, my boxes every week, like 3 times a week. I go through my boxes for my old comics, and every time I'm looking at, I must read these again someday. Oh, it'd be nice to read these again someday, but it never happens. Never gets around to it. I'm going to post the link in again in case anyone wants to join us, but I'm not sure how long you guys want to hang around for. It's up to you. Not sure. I've kind of shown all my comics. Has anyone read anything cool recently? You all been reading now? Because my read pile was very mixed. It's like whatever I've picked up, basically. So I've got I think I've read one of them Future States. And I read that Berserker the other day because I got sent them by Simple Simon sent me some comic books. So it kind of I'll go from 60s Lois Lane to a modern Berserker kind of comic book just because they happen to be, I don't bother, as they come in, I add them to the bottom of the pile kind of thing. Unless I'm putting them aside to try and read them all in one go. But I'm looking at, I've got a load of Green Lantern I've collected. I thought I should just read them. I'm not going to get them all. So I've got to add the Green Lantern to my pile. I've got to add my Justice League of America to my reading pile. I've got all these Impact comics that I've got added to my pile. I've got this the Cole rather, and I've got someone from 2002 Unknown Soldier that I managed to pick up 25 issues of. So I've got plenty to be reading. I need to read them World's Finest as well, that I've not been reading as they've come in. So yeah, I'm not going to run out of reading material anytime soon.
It's so hard to run out of reading.
I pick up new comics every Wednesday, so I always have a pile of those. Yeah. And then I dip in random places in older comics. Like I just read a Khazar story with Man-Thing in it. Okay. And I read a Conan, The Witch Shall Be Born from Savage Tales, or Savage Sword.
And so you just like take one comic here and there kind of thing when you read your old comics.
I try to read my new comics within the week because I like to make videos about them. But then I randomly read old comics, as either I pick them up at stores or I churn them up out of my boxes. I was looking through a lot of Savage Sword to give some people some doubles of mine, and that's when I decided to read the Witch Shall Be Born.
Yeah. What about you, Matt? You still collecting? You getting weekly comics still, or are you?
Oh, trust me,
my collector
is bigger than I want it to be. But I do. I buy the books every Wednesday, but I'm years behind on my reading because I read my books digitally, and so I'll do like runs all at once. Like I just got done reading the title Invincible. There was 104 issues in that, and I just read it straight through. But I'm going back to the Golden Age, and I'm reading some of that old Captain America, some of the old Green Lantern stuff, and like there's always something out there to read. And I do read modern books. Please don't get me wrong, but I'm behind on them by quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, when I was collecting modern, I'd always read them really quickly. I'd sit down and read I had quite a big read pile, quite a big, and I buy a monthly. I didn't go weekly. I always went monthly. I didn't even know that they did. I had a day they came out. I had a particular day. I just went in there once a month before I got paid and bought whatever was in there in my stack, kind of thing. But I'd always try to read them over the course of a couple of days. So I'd binge read them after work. I used to take a few to work with me, so I could read them in my lunch hour, that kind of thing. Read them on the bus on the way to work, on the way back from work. But yeah, I stopped collecting in 2013, and when I came back in 2018, I'm just getting old books now. You get a lot more. You can get a lot more unless you're getting the big keys, of course. If you're happy to get low grade, you can normally pick it up for like a third of the price of a modern book.
Oh no, absolutely. Yep.
I kind of like me. If I was a millionaire, don't get me wrong, if I was a millionaire suddenly, I'd buy all the weekly books when they came out. It's just, just something to do. I'll probably get behind though. You still get behind if you bought everything.
This year, I've got some pretty big books. Yeah, in fact, I'll show you another one. I've got some pretty big books this year, but what I've been doing is, I'm a working Joe. And I don't just have money to just go blowing and stuff. I've been taking books that I bought years ago, and some books I bought for $1. And I've just been sending them off, having them graded, and then putting them up for sale. And, I'm able to bring books like this home where I never could have, reached out and got this before.
Yeah.
Nice.
I should apply myself more, really, but I should do more to try and get money in to sort of buy comic books instead of spending money I haven't got. I've got 4 short boxes, of nothing great, but it's I should at least try and bloody been sitting there for years. I've got to get around to trying to sell those books, and then I sort of look at it and I just go, I can't bothered.
The goal is a hobby to fund itself, where you don't actually have to put extra money into it. But
that's a great way to do it. Yeah, and if you pay attention to what's hot. Like I've been hearing about comics that I have just sitting in my boxes that I'm probably not going to reread. That are hot at the moment, but I just need to get organized and try to sell them, I guess.
But I started doing something different on that one too, because we're talking about hot comics there, Damien. I have a lot of these books that have been graded for 15 years or in their slabs. Now that there's this thing called pressing that's becoming very popular that people didn't do before, I've sent off a couple books that were not low grade, but lower grade. I've had them cracked. I've had CGC press them, and they came back. And I'm going to pull my phone up. I don't know if you guys can see, but
I see fine.
I just got that 9.8 ASM 300. And that book is it's on fire right now. And that was a 9.4. I think I paid $200 for that back in 2002 or something like that.
Yeah. I I can't look at ASM 300. It gives me chills because I was collecting ASM all the way through that, and my comic shop never put it in my box. I didn't realize till years later when I was like, when I started in 2018, started doing comics on YouTube. I was just going through I call it counting comics. I was going through all my boxes one at a time. But I didn't know that 300 was a big key until I started watching this video. And okay, so I got to that box. I was like, oh, here's my Spider-Man. Let's see if I've got 300. I'm sure I have because I remember like Venom being around all the time. I was collecting them all, and I've gone like 295, 296, 297, 298, 299, 301. It was just like, oh man,
man.
I try not to have nightmares.
That is not right. See,
Yeah.
I have another one here. This one was actually given to me. I bought something on eBay years ago, and somebody threw this in on it. And,
wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy though. Things can just go from zero to massive amounts in like quick time, though, isn't it?
It wasn't worth that much when somebody gave it to me. Like they didn't give me ASM 300. They gave me a comic book that just happened to be that,
Right.
Yeah.
Something big.
Yeah.
But who knows?
You have to wonder
It'll
sometimes.
probably drop and it won't be worth anything.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that would probably stay pretty good. I think it's had legs, hasn't it? It's not like it's. I think these fly-by-night ones that come in and like suddenly like they've been out for a month and suddenly they're going for $100, $200. And I think there's no way that's going to keep its value, is it? I'm thinking that's just like, sure, that's a flash in a pan kind of speculation kind of thing. But any of the older ones that have been worth money for a while are going to probably stay worth money, aren't they? But this white vision that people were clamoring for recently, it's like, I don't think that's going to be worth anything like what they're paying for it now in a couple of years' time.
You had to sell it at just the right moment.
Yeah.
But I had, as a kid, I was collecting the Hulk. And I remember I culled my Hulk collection. I figured around issue 178, it started getting bad. And I got rid of everything beyond 178.
Who knew?
And then when I got back into watching YouTube and seeing everyone talking about Hulk over and over, God, I threw that one away.
Does that not wake you up at night? Like you're suddenly lying there asleep and suddenly you wake up and go, oh my God, I saw my Hulk when I want.
Not quite that bad, but it is, I do feel stupid looking back on that.
Yeah, I remember
never know what's hot and what isn't.
Yeah. And I, at the time, this was before the X-Men had come back out when I made this decision. I didn't think the Wolverine would ever show up again.
Wow.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Chris Claremont, we probably would have forgotten about Wolverine by now.
Yeah.
It would have been. It was a flash in the pan, just one issue or a couple, but then he took him and made him in the X-Men and ran with it.
I remember reading like that was it's a UK reprint now. I remember reading it in school when I was in like infant school or something like that. I remember that comic book. I remember reading that story, him fighting the Wendigo and Hulk. Remember that well actually. But I don't remember when I saw him again though. I think one of my earliest comic books. Because I don't remember what comics I bought, when I bought them. And like I've got like I think it's X-Men, I don't know, 178 or one, I don't know. It's one where Wolverine's getting his clock cleaned by Vindicator while he's like halfway through crossing the river. And that's the first, I think it's possibly the next time I saw him. I'm not too sure. But I don't remember. It seems like that's my oldest comic that I remember buying at the time that it came out. So it's like, wow, I don't remember that being my first comic, but it seems like it must have been because I think it's like 78 or something. And the other oldest ones are all from 79. So it seems that was the first one that I bought. But maybe because I read it in school, like Wolverine, I recognised it on the cover maybe. But I don't remember it like being my first one. But it just goes to show you memories crap. Memory for toffee.
Yeah, I thought I remembered my first 3 comics, and I still think I have the first one right. But the other 2, when I started looking at the publication dates of those and then other ones I remembered reading, I realized there's no way I could have had those as my first number 2 and number 3. But I was sure I remembered it that way.
Okay.
Reading this comment from Bandana.
Yeah, random facts. I'm not sure what that relevant to our conversation, but it's interesting to know.
Yeah, he has a good point. It did have to do with silver.
Yeah, it's silver because pure metal, isn't it? I think also that's why it kills werewolves as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll never know who the vampires are anymore. We're doomed.
Good point. Good point. That's why we're able to do channels, because our reflections wouldn't work on a day or so. Can you? Doesn't they say that you can't capture your images as well? Don't they say you take photographs and it won't work, and you can't be seen on camera at all?
I can't remember. Yeah.
So that was another vampire thing.
COVID must be hard on vampires because you have to invite them into your house, and with COVID, no one's going to invite you in.
Yeah, you're not allowed in. We can touch elbows on the threshold.
Yeah, you gotta have sanitizer. That's why I put garlic in my hand sanitizer. I'll take that.
You guys got these ones? I showed them off earlier on, didn't I? The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I think it's the last one that Alan Moore did.
I didn't keep up with that, so no, I don't have those ones.
Alan Moore, Kevin O'Neill.
I think I read the first 2 volumes and then I stopped.
Yeah, I've got the first 2, and then there was another one they did that was. It seemed to be like every 10 years or so, once every 100 years. I think it was. It was like 1969. I remember 2069, something like that. I can't remember now. But I think I've got those in issues. Oh,
I heard they spoof Harry Potter in one of their volumes.
I think so. I'm 3 panels in. I've got boobies already, so I won't show that to you. It's that's a strong start, a compelling start to the story. I need the other 4 issues though.
A lot of good stuff out there.
Another one I got recently is this Twisted Tales, a horror comic with a Bernie Wrightson cover. And it's actually got some really great, what's his name? Mike Plug artwork, speaking of the werewolf stuff. Right. So it's got Mike Plug artwork, and there was another really good artist in here. I'm trying to remember which one.
Some big names in that book.
Val Myrick is in here, and and then this underground artist, what's his name? Rand Holmes does a horror story in here too. I don't know if you guys ever see these, but if you can get them cheaply, they're great reads.
I think I might. Did you show that in another one of your read things? Or you were hanging out?
Yeah, when I was in a live stream where we talk about what we've been reading lately.
Yeah, was it Crack and
with Comic Crack and Larassa? Yeah,
Larassa. Oh, yeah, I think I remember seeing you showing them. Then they look cool. There's just so many bloody comics there in there. It's just so many comics. Never enough money. Never enough space.
I'm kind of driving my wife crazy with the overflowing comics.
I'm kind of lucky that my girlfriend lives in a completely different part of London to me. She lives in South London. I live in East London. It's probably best that way. Just
tell her to let you visit her house instead of the other way around.
Oh yeah, I always do that. I always go visit her house. So it's all good. Exactly. Yeah, I think she's not been around for ages, but last time she would come to my house, she would have been able to get into my bedroom. Now it's a little bit tricky to get in my bedroom because it's like the comic boxes that used to be like one there and now can turn into like 5 or 6. Like it's like I'm kind of not going to buy.
Right?
Yeah, I'm kind of not going to buy any more boxes now. It's like I've got enough boxes. I've got no more. And it's like if I buy more, I have to find a new place to start storing them. And it's like no, I've got to knock it on the head now. I don't want to be a hoarder like my mum was. My mum was a terrible hoarder, but unfortunately not comic books. If it'd been comic books, I wouldn't have minded. But it was Waller of all things, knitting wool. It's like literally at one point I had to wade through the kitchen because it was like wool up to my ankles or up to my knees in the kitchen. Like literally, she was. Yeah, unfortunately, she lost the plot a bit when it comes to hoarding.
Does she watch any of your videos?
Oh no, she unfortunately died in 2013. So yes, no, she doesn't.
Oh,
she would have done if she was around. She would have been in them. To be honest, she would have been in them. She's always a good laugh, but yeah,
right.
So, yeah.
Hey, I never showed you my long boxes, have I? I don't think I have. No, because I hated moving long boxes over and over, and then whenever you're putting books away, you got to pick a book up, take them over. So. I told you guys like last year I made some this room, but
yeah,
I just made these. Yeah, these little drawers, and I can.
That's a very nice setup.
I have little plexiglass on the front, so I can look at my books that way.
Yeah. So how many books can you hold in one drawer?
Roughly 250.
Oh, okay. So it's a quite long one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're. I don't know if you can see.
It's hard to tell on camera if it's like
they look small, but
Is that all of your long boxes? You got another stack of that somewhere else, or is that all of your long boxes and the rest on the wall? Is that everything, or is there some other things that we're not seeing?
Well, there might be some boxes on the floor, but I can give you guys. I wish I could flip this around some way so I could.
Oh, he's unplugged himself. that was a disaster. He's back. He's back.
I'm back. Sorry about that. I hit the on button. But can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Is something interesting going on in the door behind you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
Yeah, maybe he can't hear us.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh. Well, that was good. Well, he may pop back.
Oh man, he's a much more serious collector than me. I really respect what he's doing there.
Yeah, well, he's kind of like a very organized collector. I mean,
yeah.
If I just like all this, like spending lots of money on your storage and all that kind of thing. That just detracts from comic buying money. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I hit the power button on the side, but
we could hear you earlier on when you came back.
You could hear me?
Yeah, we could hear you.
I couldn't hear you guys, but I'll show you guys a little room here. And I did an unboxing earlier today, but
no, you got
walls
down there.
But there's my gimbal for YouTube videos.
So what happened to the cameraman that you always talk about in your videos? The best cameraman on YouTube? Is that just the camera set up on its own?
No,
or is it actually someone?
No, the cameraman's my son.
Oh right, because I just saw the gimbal there. I thought you just. It looked like he was in the position that sometimes you film from. I thought maybe you just sat there and you were pretending you were the cameraman. I wasn't too sure.
No, my son. He's my producer, and like he's 15, so he comes up with cool ideas on how to do videos. And I follow it. So no, he really is a cameraman. And right now, I'll show you my setup that we're doing at the moment. That's it. I just have a little stand on a long box.
What are you working on at the moment? You got any new sort of themes, shows, or projects, or that you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I have a collaboration with one YouTuber. He's a big DC guy, and his name is Anachronic Comics.
Okay.
He's a big DC guy. I guess I'm a Marvel guy, but not by design. Just that's what I collect more of, and so we want to do a series of videos where we debate going back and forth about the ages. We're going to start the Golden Age, move up Silver Age, and then all the way to the Modern Age. And we're just going to pick 5 books from each age, and then we're going to debate which ones were more important to the history of comics. But it's just something really fun for us. Yeah,
that's a lot of work. Anything is too much work. I'm too lazy. Yeah, I'll watch them, but I'm too lazy to do that kind of thing.
So Damien, you have a channel.
Yeah, it's called Sleepy Reader 666. I've been doing it for 9 years.
Okay.
So I checked. I am subscribed to you, but there's so many YouTubers out there that I don't keep up with them as well as I used to.
It's hard. It really is.
Because when I started, it was easy. There was just a few people doing it, and it was easy to keep track of everybody.
Yeah, I think there's been loads more.
So I probably, saw you on some other live hangout and subbed you up, and then haven't sort of figured out who you are yet.
Yeah.
Well, but now I've got a good sense, so I'm going to go. And I definitely want to see those where you talk about the different ages. That sounds really cool. I love the history stuff.
I'm looking forward to that series, but we just subbed up to you.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
There's only so much.
You're almost at 2,000 right here.
Well, I've been on 9 years. It's not hard to build. Most people get pretty high numbers earlier on nowadays than we used to.
I don't know, buddy. 2,000. I don't care how you got it. That's a lot of subs. So hats off to you, man.
Yeah, and I'm on this Sunday show where me and a few people who also have been doing it a long time, doing YouTube a long time, chat about what we've been reading just that week, whatever it is, old or new. And we're going to have Earl Grey on as a guest. I don't know if people know the Earl Grey channel.
No,
he's a German fellow who does a lot of European comics plus some American comics.
I was going to hit him for copyright then. I was like, what do you mean, Earl Grey? Get out of it.
Apparently he likes the tea, Earl Grey.
How dare you steal my name, use my name in vain. I don't actually like Earl Grey tea, but...
So that's your first name, Greyman, Earl?
No.
I was like,
Earl is...
Do you ever say your first name, Mr. Gray?
It's just Graham. My first name is Graham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Gray has always been my nickname, and I spell it like the color. We spell the color, right? I mean, it's Graham, my name. So normally people shorten it to Gray, but I always shorten it to Grey. And when I was doing my channel about 13 years ago when I was making it, there'd just been I think it was Justice League Europe, a minor character called the Greyman. And I just I call myself the Greyman because I'm grey anyway. I slightly use that character, so no massive secret.
It works.
So did you start your channel before you had gray hair in your beard?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Because I figured you were making a reference to getting some. Gray
I'm getting grey, and I'm getting greyer by the minute. Unfortunately, it's like I didn't used to be grey, but
I can relate there.
I'll get greyer than ever, man. I'll be changing to one point. But I only started doing comics recently. Like I started off for my first video. I found YouTube and it's like all these different videos. Oh, this is good. I'll make a channel, whatever. And I started off just doing like whatever I happen to like. I think my very first video is an ice speedway video, like a 1 minute or 1 or 10-second clip or something like that from ice speedway, like motorbike racing on ice. Basically, they've got these spikes on their wheels. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but that's my first video. And I don't think I did my first comic related video until like 2018. And so, yeah.
If you get started, you got a heck of a collection so far.
Oh no, I've collected comics for ages.
You mean for the channel?
Yeah, for the channel, yeah. I didn't think about it. Like when I was reading comics like all the time, and I'd never had any sort of mates into comics or anything like that. So it was always like reading in a bubble kind of thing. It never once occurred to me to actually do it as a thing on YouTube. But I think I was just doing heavy metal videos because I'd go to lots of gigs and I'd film bands. I'd film lots of band sets. So I've got like, I don't know, probably a good few hundred gig videos on my channel. Most of I think my first 500 subs were all like heavy metal related kind of thing. But I did a couple of I did a Blue Beetle video, just a really crappy like collage of Blue Beetle after he got killed with like a heavy metal instrumental going on behind it, and at the end he goes, "Screw you, Max! I'll rot in hell, Max!" that he said before he shot him in the head, kind of thing. And that was like my little tribute to the Blue Beetle Ted called, and that was my first sort of comic related one. And I did another video just like DC comic heroes, and I put it to I don't know who Tyler at TB Collects is. Hello, Tyler at TB Collects.
What's up, Gray Man?
Hi there. All right, how you doing?
Hey, Tyler.
Hey, Tyler.
Sleepy reader.
Sadly, I need to go because it's time to make dinner. And
cool.
It was great talking to you guys. Sorry I'm running away, Tyler, but I'll
no problem.
Catch you in the rewrite.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Damien.
Yeah,
nice to meet you too,
man. On, mate. Cheers for coming on.
Check you later, Gray.
Yeah, see you later. What's this? Grey Man is the ghost that haunts the mountain, he says. James. Oh, James is here. Hi, James.
Hello.
Hey.
Lots of people here. Nice to meet you, James.
Yes, nice to meet you too. Matt, how are you?
Couldn't be better, man.
Hi, Tyler. Hello again, Tyler. I don't remember your channel. Have I watched your channel?
I've hung out in the Nerd Herd and a bunch of other channels as well. So I'm kind of met a bunch of the UK channels. So yeah, I don't know if we've ever officially met.
All right. Okay. Cool. Confused me. Hello, Sean at Noob Comics.
Hey, Greyman.
How is everything?
Everyone's jumping on.
I've showed. Oh yeah, literally. I've showed absolutely everything that I had to show. So if you guys want to, you guys got any comic books you want to show, I just opened a few comics that I got today.
Oh, just some pickups that you had.
Yeah, whatever you want to show. Yeah, that's all I did. I thought because I normally I'd do a video for my mail. And I thought I'd do a stream because I got StreamYard. See if anyone wants to come in and just see what happens from there. Basically, I've shown all my comics. If you guys got any new comics you want to show off, then feel free.
Yeah,
I got a couple. I'll go grab them real quick, and then I'll jump back in. Hold on.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
How's
right now?
Sorry?
James and Sean, do you guys have any books right now?
Yeah, I have a few.
How's the sleepless nights, James?
They're not too bad, you know. She's what 6 weeks now, six weeks old now, so it's not too bad.
Cool. You look tired.
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. Actually, I have to get up early as well. But I was just hanging out after a stream there, so
okay.
You were live, thought I would pop in, and I'd seen Matt on with Sif Lordley a couple of times. I think you weren't you, Matt? You were on Spinetix and the card show as well, and so thought I'd pop on.
Yeah,
say hi.
Spinetix. They do. Seth Wardley does such a great job of that show. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
What have you been in today then? Have you been doing a stream earlier, was there?
Yeah,
we did our sort of review off crossover. So we're going over like issue 5 and 6 of crossover. This is what was a show a series we've been doing since issue 1. So we thought
I've never read that one. Not really heard. I don't really know that one. What's it crossing over? That's not the one where it's like two kind of universes, and one's like the evil, like bad kicking ass version of the character, and one's like a sort of golden age kind of version of the character. That's not crossover, is it?
No, that is completely not
okay. No, fair enough. I remember hearing something like that, but
Donny Cates' image and comic just about like this in Denver. There was like this event that happened, and comic characters came into the real world. Okay. Then they sort of shut off of the dome, and then there was like these people trying to get back into the dome to get back to the comic world, and yeah, it went from there.
So interesting.
It was a decent read, I think. Definitely. It was the first arc's finished. The first arc finished on issue 6 there, and it's to be honest, the storyline sort of gone downhill after the first couple of issues. But I think the last issue there was enough sort of fan service in terms of which characters they brought into it. So there was a couple of like old Image characters that they got the rights to and put them in there as well. So
all right, cool. That's interesting. So is it actually just a couple of the rest of the heroes are like not from the comics, it's like brand new ones just for that comic? Yeah,
the main characters are just this comic shop owner. There's a girl who worked in a comic shop, and then this one of the other characters is like the son of this sort of pastor. He's called Father Lowe, and he hates superheroes. And since the event when these superheroes came into the world, he's very anti-superhero. And So, but no, it's a decent read. I would recommend checking it out.
What kind of tone is that? Is it like a comedic kind of tone, or is it like a heavy kind of dramatic?
You know, that's one of the problems. Is the tone just was never really, like, it never really found its place. You know, there was parts where it was getting sort of heavy. There was like they were talking about sort of like internment camps for some of these escaped heroes in your comic book world, but then they never touched on that again. So it was it was all over the place, to be honest. Like the tone was quite mixed.
Fair enough. You got some comics you want to show, Tyler?
Yeah, I have been kind of switching over from singles to collecteds in the recent couple months, and so I picked up a few things. One of these I got. This was a eBay lot, and so hi, there's Andy. This is a new series where I read the first issue on Comixology. I don't know if you guys over in the UK have it, but Northlanders by Brian Wood. So I picked up these three, the first three trades, and it was like $17 for all three of these on eBay. So I was pretty excited about that one. I read the first one, and then I liked it enough that I was like, okay, I'm going to check it out. And so I got these three.
Was it like Vikings or something?
Yes, it's I love the Vikings TV show, and so that was kind of why I jumped into it. And then I read the first volume, and like I said, the first volume is, as you can see, is pretty thick, and so it was a good read, and I liked it enough that I was like, and I've read DMZ for the first couple volumes, so I was like, yeah, Brian Wood, so I'll check that one out. So that was the first one that I picked up. The next one is something I'm excited about because I have read Why the Last Man, but I got Paper Girls book 1.
Oh yeah.
In the
same order, is it?
Yeah.
Same.
What's that?
Same
Brian
writer.
came on. Yeah, Brian came on. So I don't know anything about this. This was just a I heard Adam from Comic Bound and the Comic Board Blackpool talking about this, and they raved about Paper Girls when they read it, and so I just completely blindly bought the hardcover because I was like, I trust them enough, and I agree with them that they that it should be something I should read after reading Why the Last Man. So
I've seen people talking about it and saying it's quite good, but
I've heard nothing but good about it myself.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's no kind of clue. You're just looking at paper girls. Are they made out of paper? Do they deliver papers? What's it about? What's going on?
You're so literal.
It's like, I'm only going by the clues I'm given, mate.
From what I understand, they are literally like girls that deliver paper from the 80s.
Oh, they are.
And that's why it's kind of, it's pink. It's very bright 80s. And they're delivering, on their bikes and stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah,
and that's the main, the characters that are in it. But apparently there's a lot of sci-fi and time travel and all kinds of stuff into it. So I'm excited to jump into that. I haven't started reading that yet. And then the last one that I have for now that's recently picked up is something that I have read digitally and then I purchased in the physical and read it again. And it was better in the physical, which I know you guys have a lot of you probably read this. Harleen by Stepan Sejic, I think is his name. But if you haven't read this, I absolutely recommend it. It's fantastic. The art is beautiful. I am so disappointed that there won't be like a Poison Ivy version of this. I wish there was like a companion to this because the story's great. I never really cared for Harley before that. I've been a big Batman fan, but I didn't really care for Harley. And that story right there made me actually care about her as a real person, type thing. So can't recommend that highly enough.
Yeah, I don't mind. Harley.
Right
but yeah, I'm too busy collecting old books to pick up new ones unless I see them sort of super cheap or something like that.
Yeah.
Or I get an AOK, and then I've got that AOK with that first Berserker, and now I feel like I need to try and pick them all up. It's like I don't want just one part of the story. I need to that's always been my downfall. Is I always want to read every comic. So if I get one, I've got to try and buy the whole lot, and it's just there's not enough money or room.
Did you like Berserker, Gray?
Yeah, I didn't mind it. Yeah, it was all right. Yeah. Just like going and killing lots of things. There's a little bit of mystery there. It's like, and I dare say there's going to be some, some deep diving into it. It might be interesting, but I'll wait.
You'll enjoy Haha then. Haha,
yeah, possibly.
Yeah, Grey Man. I'm going to have to
cheap.
let you go. My wife is texting me, and
okay, mate.
It's time to go out. So
okay, that helps the hairy bald ratio somewhat. So thanks for. I was getting a bit worried then. There was like 4-2, 3-2 is a bit more manageable.
Yeah, it's like a group now. But
see you soon, mate.
Everybody, y'all take care.
Yeah, cheers for coming on.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
That was a good ring he had on there. Looked like an evil villain kind of ring. He was like, I just imagine that being worn by like an evil genius kind of thing.
I thought that was like the access. Just kiss my ring.
Yeah. Something like that.
Not again.
What's everyone else been up to then? Everyone been buying anything cool?
I have a couple of books here, but I'll only go through a couple of them because I'll be here all night if I went through them all before. So I've got The Silver Coin. These are one-shot books. Yeah, this one's done by Chip Zdarsky. So obviously, as the cover entails, it's about a musician gets the silver coin, and then horror ensues as time goes on. But they're all one-shots. The whole series.
So what does the silver coin do then? Is it?
I think it's something to do with the devil. It's like you said.
It's somebody eating crisps.
You're so hungry. Of it, so it's there to read tomorrow actually. So I'll get around to that. Number 2, and that's a great book. Basically, girls' school, brothers in coma, start seeing shadows, and then they start attacking her, and then a twist in it, and it carries on. But it's a good book to read as well. And then obviously Joker. That's book number 2. It's just sort of just a Joker story. He's fled the country. It's more to do with Commissioner Gordon chasing him down and things like that. So very good book as well.
Is that the one where someone's paying Gordon to kill the Joker?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's exactly that one. Yeah, so I've got that, and then I've got the other variant of that cover as well. And I'll do 2 more, and that'll be us. Home. So this one sort of is quite close to home. Sort of immigrants. I know. Sorry, pardon the pun. Immigrants in America, and then basically it's almost like what happened a couple of years back, where you've got the children being sort of deported, and parents being left, but the child suddenly develops powers towards the end. So it's a very good book to read. Thank Andy for that one. And then Alien, the second one. So I actually haven't read that one yet.
Well, is that an ongoing Alien book?
Yeah, it's the new Alien run at the moment. So I've read the first one. I haven't got around to reading the second one yet. The first one was good, but apparently the second one's not the greatest. But to be honest, I like that cover so much. I purchased it anyway. So
okay, it's an ongoing story though. It's not like it's a story.
It's not a story.
Is it based on Earth or?
First one.
Yeah, it's on. It starts off. There's the man's on Earth, but then there's space station. So it's on a Earth orbiting space station.
Oh, okay. It's going to crash into this Earth by about number 4, and they're all going to come piling out. And
well, of course, the first book introduces a new type of xenomorph as well, which you'd never seen before. So it's definitely worth picking up if just for sort of first introduction of that. But I'm an Alien fan from the 80s and 90s anyway. So whenever that came out, I was going to pick it up regardless. So that's pretty much it. A few other ones there, but like I said, it would be here all night. So,
are you mainly indies? Are you mainly indies in your?
I am. Yeah, I don't read too much. I maybe read Thor. I read Batman, much to James's horror, because I know James hates Batman. But there would be the only 2 that I would read in the mainstream. But it is mainly indies for me. I think the stories are more. Marvel and DC just seem to rehash the same story over and over again, where indies have more free reign of what they want to do and develop. So for me, indies is the way I would want to go.
Yeah, it's kind of tied in though, isn't it? They're tied in with their characters, and they've got to behave in the same ways, and they've got the same supporting cast. And
there's only so many times somebody can die, but brought back and die again, brought back, and do you know what I mean? It's end of the universe or whatever it might be. So. Yeah,
that's the thing with the indies. They kind of they can tell whatever story they want, and you're going in, you don't know who's going to die, who's going to be the hero, who's going to do this. Like you can't. You're not going to read a Batman. Batman does die now and again, but it's not like a you kind of know who's going to be safe. But with an indie story, you got no idea what the story is going to be.
No, definitely not. But I would highly recommend that home book. And Shadecraft for definite. There's another one I've got there, Fear Case. I would highly recommend that if anybody hasn't read that as well.
Yeah, I think Scott Shelf was telling me about Fear Case. He's got all the cases. Is that one of all the cases? And he's got
it's 7 secrets.
Secrets. Oh right, yeah. The case put me off. The case pulled me there.
You think the Fear Case would have the cases, wouldn't you? And then the secrets would have the secrets.
It would make sense. It's like Paper Girls about girls who are made out of paper. Why make it more difficult than it has to be?
Sure. Yes. Like simple Batman. He's a man who looks like a bat.
Exactly. It's not rocket science. No. Apart from Rocket Science Comics number 5, which is not about rocket science, strangely enough. There isn't one called Rocket Science. I don't think there is anyway. But they should do. Someone should do a comic called Rocket Science. Anyway, have you got any books you want to show, Andy?
Yeah, I've got a few. First up is Star Wars High Republic issue number 3, which is an ongoing title that I've been enjoying. Anything Star Wars I would normally pick up.
I think I've heard people say good things, some say bad things about that one. I'm not too sure.
I mean, it's kind of a slow start, but there's been lots of first appearances of characters and stuff like that. So from a speculation point of view, it's probably a comic that you don't want to miss picking up, because it will heat up eventually. Next one was a recent one. So this is Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 25. And this is the Mark Bagley Skyline variant. So Mark's I'm a huge fan of Mark Bagley and everything that he does. So I was happy to pick up this one. This was a bit of a FOMO, fear of missing out, Geiger issue number 1. I missed out on this when it first came out, and it kind of blew up a little bit and was about £10-15 to buy the first issue, which I wasn't willing to do. And managed to pick this up for cover price, so I was happy enough to get that one. So there we go.
Apparently, Comic Deal didn't want to see your comics. I think he's bored. He's bored of looking at his comics. I'm off.
Hey,
Story's
hey, Andy.
life.
Hey, Andy,
Hey.
real quick. The Geiger, is that Chip Zdarsky? Or who writes that? Is that...
It's Jeff Johns.
Oh, it's
Gareth
Jeff
Knight.
Johns. I knew it was a big writer. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard about that, but I hadn't read it. Did you
Is
read that yet?
No, I haven't read it yet. No,
Okay.
literally just got it in. So looking forward to giving it a read and seeing what it's like. But I've heard good things about it. So
Okay. I knew it was a big writer. I just didn't know who it was. Okay. Awesome.
I
Yeah.
also picked up.
Post-apocalyptic, is it?
Yeah, it's post-apocalyptic. I think
Is that
it's
go-
everything that you.
Is that Go-Go checks on the top?
It's who?
Go-Go checks on the top. It looks like Go-Go checks. Yeah, it does look like Go-Go
Oh,
checks.
yeah.
Wonder why I've done it like that.
The checkerboard.
Yeah.
This is everything you expect from Jeff Johns, but like in a modern sort of twist to it. So from what I believe, so yeah, that's that. I also picked up a not quite mint comic crate, which I've done a video on my own channel about. So I'll maybe just run through some of the books that came from that. So this is a kind of a mystery box, but it's with a variant cover twist.
I did see
it's
someone
the-
open one of them the other day. I can't remember who it was though. It wasn't your one I saw you opening, was it? Did
It
I-
might have
did I
been
com-
Jason
comment?
or
MJ Comics.
I commented on
Comics or
somebody
Jason
opening the
Parker.
box. Anyway, I'm sure I did. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jason Parker. I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, those guys have opened up boxes as well. So this is kind of like a variant box where it's £35. And I think you get like maybe 6 or 7 different covers. So Tom was good enough to send me one, and I got 7 Secrets. So I know that you guys had mentioned 7 Secrets. So this is issue number 1. This is a variant cover for that. Virgin variant cover, which I was happy to pick up. This is a great series as well. If you've not had a read of it.
Fantastic. Yep.
Next one is Gwenom versus Carnage, issue number 1. So this is the David Nakayama cover, which we've been lucky enough to have on the Killer Comic Show that Geeky Comics channel does. So that's a cool cover. We'll get Proctor Valley Road, issue number 1, which is another great series as well. Another kind of a under the radar series that is a good read. Now this was the bigger book that apparently I got, which I didn't realise when I had it. So this is Daredevil issue number 25. Apparently this was like a 1 in 50 or a 1 in 100 ratio book.
Is that Elektra in Daredevil's costume?
Yes, it is. Yeah, so that was the big thing in the new Daredevil run by Chip Zdarsky. And apparently this sold out.
Would it be first print or would it be second? Would it be classified as second print?
I think this is first print. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think this is first print. I think this is like the 1 in 50 or the 1 in 100. So yeah. We have Marvel Voices, Indigenous Voices number 1, and this is is it David Mack?
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Which is fantastic.
Is that Mirage?
Yes. But I've actually read this one. I read this one yesterday, and it was a fantastic story as well. Everybody knows me as the kind of the indie guy that isn't a huge Marvel or DC reader, but I actually did enjoy that. So that was just a couple of pickups. I've got lots and lots more, but you know, it's 12 minutes past 1, and I'm sure you don't want to look at all the books that I've picked up, Greg.
Well, I'm easy, mate. I'm easy. I've got nothing else to show myself. I showed all my stuff. Did you want to see? Did you see what I've got today in the post? Do you want to see that again?
I didn't go. No. Hit me up.
Did anyone read the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the last one that they did with?
I haven't.
That Tempest number 1, I picked that up a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I literally, because I didn't get it at the time, but I saw it going for like £1 each. And I thought, yeah, I'll have them for £1 each, no worries. But yeah, that was like last work Kevin O'Neill's done apparently. He's not doing it anymore.
Nice.
Alan Moore and Kevin O'Neill both quitting, which is a shame. And I got this one because I was starting getting these Huntress Power Girls well fine, only because I saw like a batch of them for like 75p each or something.
Is that the lenticular cover?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I can see it changing. Yeah.
That's not my own.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, the chain story.
Who's the woman there? Is that Naomi or Bumblebee? Does anyone know?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know who she is.
Was she announced? Was she introduced that early though? I don't think.
I have no idea.
New 52.
I don't know. Yeah, it's New 52. So Naomi's quite modern, isn't it? More
yeah,
modern,
I think Naomi is new. So
I just didn't recognise that. And the back's got a 3D advert. You can't see it on the camera, but this is kind of like a 3D advert. I've never seen that before.
American Dad, that's crazy.
It's like 3 layers. The goldfish bowl is like sticking out from the thing. And this guy looks further back. And this guy looks in the mid-ground. I don't know how they do it. Maybe like 3 different layers of vinyl or something to make that 3D effect. I don't know how it's done. You can't pick it up from there. It's kind of like, it's almost vomit-inducing looking at it. It's just weird. It's kind of like mind sort of disturbing, you know?
I wouldn't like to be drunk watching that.
Yeah, it kind of makes you feel drunk looking at it. And it's my oldest Conan, number 18.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And this is the stuff that I normally kind of get. So stuff like old Superman. This is my jam nowadays.
Man. There you go.
Nice old Supermans I can get.
What issue was your Conan? Oh, the last Conan?
Number 18 was the first one. Number 18.
Ah, right, okay.
That's my lowest one at the moment.
Cool.
But it's going to be an expensive run to try and get. I don't know if I'll ever manage it, but you know, as long as I'm still breathing, I'll keep trying, I suppose. So
what issue is that?
This one is 93. 93.
So I guess the big issue you're looking for there is issue number 23. That's what First Red Sonja.
Yeah, Red Sonja, and I want the first Elric as well because
first Elric, yeah.
Elric is 24. I was just chatting to Mark about it. He's got most of them, showing them all off in slabs. He's got loads of, he's got the whole run and all the different magazines as well. Because my housemate's name is Elric. His dad named him after the Elric from
very cool.
From the actual from the books, Michael Moorcock books, because he was a big Michael Moorcock fan, big stoner, and he named his son Elric. And then
is that the guy that does the beer thing with you?
He does my beer show with me. And so he gave me his dad. So when his dad passed, he gave Elric inherited his Elric books, and he gave them to me. So I'm like one of the only people in the world with Elric comics given to them by someone called Elric. So it's it's my rather tenuous claim to fame. It's like this is a bit of a weird one. Three Musketeers and Robin Hood. The only reason I've got it is because I'm getting this, trying to collect this DC special run. But the Three Musketeers and Robin Hood, it's just really weird because there'll be loads of superhero ones. There's giant dinosaurs and superheroes versus super gorillas and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. So it just happens to be Three Musketeers and Robin Hood strangely in the middle of it. Surly Tim is here. I'm not sure if his devices are connecting now. Oh, devices connecting. Nice old Lois Lane. I'll put myself on big screen for a bit so you can see him better. Let's see if Surly Tim. And Lois Lane's been turned into a little girl. They're great. If you ever get a chance to read old Lois Lane or Jimmy Olsen, they're balmy as a box of frogs. They're really crazy. Just like Silver Age madness. It's like total bizarro city. Basically.
I love the covers with all the bubbles, all the bubbles on the covers.
Exactly. I hate the fact that you don't get that nowadays. I look at the modern comics; they're boring. The covers. It's like
they have a whole conversation on the front of the comic.
I like the blurbs. I want the blurbs in the conversation and an idea of what's going to happen in the comic book. To me, that's kind of like, I can soak that goodness in, you know. And then the modern one, it's like, it's all beautiful art, but it's like, what's going to happen in the comic book? It's just like a random picture of, a bit of a sensational She-Hulk. Another Superboy. You hearing us, Tim? You're looking very frozen there, mate. I think you might have a appliance for science problem there. A nice fat flash with lots going on. It's just like panel after panel, and you could probably take longer to read this cover than many a modern book probably. But
where are you picking these up from?
I get them on Facebook. There's quite a few Facebook selling groups, and you can get them fairly cheap sometimes. I get a lot you wait a couple of months, you can get modern comics for a third of the price. So if I sort of leave it for a bit, and if there's a couple modern one that I want,
that's nice.
Unless they've taken off.
Yeah,
it's a nice one. It's a nice one. I think it only cost me £1 or something like that. So I don't collect that run, but because I saw it and I knew it was a one and done kind of story, I thought, I'll get that for £1. You know,
cool.
Don't leave them behind. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Tim, or are you frozen?
Thinking maybe frozen. I'm actually going to shoot off because I only popped on just to say hi and
cool. Cheers for coming on.
No, it's lovely being on. Thank you for having me. Have a good
no
night.
worries, mate. Cheers for coming in.
Bye, Sean.
Bye.
Bye, mate. Apparently, coming in over 275 issues at Marvel, so I've got a heck of a lot more to collect.
275.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. I'd never even read any Conan until a couple of years ago, and someone okayed me a couple when it was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to buy them all. Fucking hell! It's like, oh, what is like? I would gladly send it because I enjoyed them, but it's like now I can't stop until I've got them. It's like,
I think Red Sonja has been announced. At least there's been like some sort of character or actress that's been announced as Red Sonja. So I think all those books, especially that Conan that I mentioned, is pretty much going through the roof at the minute unless you don't already have it. So
the bastards. So why can't they do these things after I've got the comic?
Speculation.
I don't mind it shooting up in price once I've bought it, but like when I want to buy it and I haven't bought it yet, and it starts going up, it's bollocks.
Exactly.
That's life, though, isn't it? That's life, man. Oh dear. Well, anyone got anything coming up soon? Any big books on the way, or anything they're trying to get?
No, not really. I just collect my normal pull list that comes from Sub A Comic and from my LCS. And the only real thing that I collect is jock covers, and I'm trying to think of anything else. No, that's pretty much it. Jock covers and my normal pickups. So nothing really exciting, to be honest. That's why my channel has so many or so less views than I hoped that it would have.
I think everyone has less views than they'd like to have.
Well, yeah, that's true. Can't all be like Tyler. I don't think I've watched Tyler.
I don't remember seeing his. Is it?
Oh, you're missing out. Like,
is it called TV Collects?
Yep. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to even check. I'm such it, mate, because I don't even remember the name. Have I ever commented on any of your chat on any of your videos?
I don't know. I think we've chatted like I said in Nerd Herd. Like that's the only thing I think, because I follow all those guys as well and a bunch of the UK guys, and so we've crossed paths, I'm sure, but
I've just subbed you. I've literally just subbed you. I just found your channel.
Great, that's fine.
So that's why I didn't. I was like, you came on and I was like, okay, I don't recognize this fella.
I'm kind of transitioning away from singles and going more to collected editions, I think, just because I'm more focusing right now on reading stories and stuff like that. So, but it's weird because, people don't think about like collected editions as being collectible, but there's a lot of like out of print stuff that is just as collectible, and it's so hard to find. And like with Image, they do, even with like this Paper Girls is an oversized, it's a deluxe size, the same that a DC deluxe would be, but they make even larger oversized, which are oversized hardcovers, which are like the Remender stuff, which is like the Fear Agent, Black Science, all that kind of stuff. And some of those can be crazy expensive because they're out of print and nobody can get them. So
I used to collect like a lot of like trades like a random, like for Christmas and birthday. I'm like, what can I spend some money on Amazon? And I'll find a new book like that. So all my Why the Last Man are in like trades, and all my Fables are in trades. All my what's that? The new one that's got space hopping aliens. I can't remember what it's called now.
I was gonna say there's a lot of those, but like one of the other things is like Sandman. They're re-releasing that in a deluxe. They have the like the absolutes, which are humongous, but they're so crazy expensive. And so they're re-releasing the Sandman deluxes, and so that's something that I may get into. What is that?
I picked up a random box of stuff that I think you might appreciate, Gray. So this is Spider-Man, and this is like a Mexican
variant. Mexican, okay.
This is like 90, like you can see how battered this cover is, but it's like 1960 something or other. And I think I picked this up for like a quid or something like that. So, and then we have Manhunter 2070.
2070 showcase,
a nice 15 center there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That showcases like lots of different characters, doesn't it?
Do you ever read any of this? How's it going?
I think I've seen it on Roger's channel because he likes all the martial arts comics. So I've seen it on his channel. I never even see that many Charltons. Did you guys ever see much Charltons on sale in the UK? Because I don't remember ever seeing them as a kid, like in the shops at all.
Not in the shops, no. But any like eBay would be where I would pick it up. But
yeah.
I like to go for this kind of obscure stuff.
That's a sweet cover. Like that's a creepy cover. That's awesome.
That is a cool cover. I've got a couple of Charltons.
Silver Star.
Okay.
Silver Star was
comics.
good. I'm just trying to think of anything else that I have. I'm just clicking through here. Captain Victory.
Right.
Like some old school stuff.
Yeah, I've heard of him, but it's not Kirby, is it? Captain Victory?
Kirby? Yeah, it's Kirby.
It's Kirby, yeah. Right.
So this is like I think this is a special, this particular issue, but there was a full run of it, and then I've just got more like Silver Star that I've picked up.
I don't think I've ever seen Silver Star. That's completely new to me, that one. How long did it run for, you know?
No idea. No idea.
Did it say the next breed or the next dreed?
The next breed. So this is actually Jack Kirby as well. So this is like 1982. Okay. So this is as old as I am.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say that looks pretty old.
It looks like Dreed for some reason. It looks like the first one looks like a D rather than a B. I kept thinking you were saying dread for a second, but no, it's not a dread. It's the wrong spelling.
Can't be. We could do it. We could do a whole show of Judge Dredd. I could dig out my Judge Dredd titles from back in the day.
Well, I was on YouTube the other night, and someone was interviewing Pat Mills. Like from 2000 AD, and it was really cool. He actually read out some of my questions. He answered some of my questions. I was like, "Oh man, awesome!" I was like, "Well, please."
That's cool.
I've got that night. Really cool. I've got that whole run of that Nightfall. That's a good run. That is.
This is a good run as well. Still,
I've got that whole run as well. Yeah, I've got that whole run. I got them as they came out.
Yeah, these are issue 1, and then you've got issue 0.
Yeah.
Issue 2. But yeah, that's just. I just literally grabbed it from a box over there. I just thought you'd appreciate it.
Yeah, cool. There's a few I didn't even know about and that's not heard of before.
Just realised I've got 2 issues of this.
Damn.
Give away.
Yeah. I need to. Has anyone done a blinking auction? I know. Was it Scott did a charity auction? But I don't know.
Yeah, Scott done an auction for Mind Charity, so it's a mental health charity. I think it went so well that he's going to do like a monthly charity, or a monthly auction to give to charity. So that's awesome. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. I guess all us guys kind of. Well, I know I can only speak for myself, but I got into YouTube back in October last year because of lockdown. And it was great meeting up with everybody and meeting new friends across the world like Tyler and stuff like that. It's great for the mental health. It's great for just chatting to people and talking to people when maybe your day is not going as good as it could be. So it's all good. Yeah.
True. Because I was working with auctions. That's one of the things I was interested to do an auction just to fucking get rid of some comic books. I was like, 4.
I would love to get rid of some comic books. That's literally what I was doing today. I've got like 5, maybe 6 loan boxes, which literally are about to go to my LCS whenever they open up. So I think Northern Ireland opened up 27th of May, I think it is, whenever Northern Ireland opens up fully. And my plan is just to take those to those. But you know what it's like with an LCS? You only get 50p a book, regardless of what book it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if I could jump on, and I'd be happy enough to jump on and sell some books and give a donation to charity at the end of it. So, maybe we'll
put their feelers out with this to the UK and see if anyone wants to do it.
I'll let you organise that, Grey Man.
Thanks, mate. I've got the StreamYard, so I don't mind doing that. Yeah, it's all good. But I just wondered if it would be any interest. I kind of thought about doing it a couple of times. I thought, no, every time I try and do something, I just sit there twiddling my thumb. Like when I did the big grey boxes, I did 30 grey boxes, advertised them all over the fucking shop. I got one sale, and I was like, fuck that.
Really?
I'm not bothering with that shit anymore. I'm not bothering with trying stuff.
That must have been before my time then, Greyman, because I'd have
That
been
might have
well
been.
into that. I'd be like, oh yeah, give me a couple of boxes.
That is
Never
something
mind.
that's weird that I've seen that like American YouTube is like bigger on those, you know, like mystery boxes that I don't think the UK community has really embraced yet. And I think that's somewhere that, you know, maybe there's some opportunity there because like all over the US, everyone has a mystery box. You know, there's all kinds of mystery boxes. So.
We're probably more cynical. It's like, I ain't fucking buying a mystery
That's
box.
exactly.
I don't know what's going to be in there. I don't trust that twat to put a fucking decent.
Don't trust that
together.
guy.
Yeah. It's going to be shit you don't want. It's going to be fucking. He's probably fucking blown his nose on the third page or something. I ain't buying that crap.
I think in fairness to the American market as well, like what I find with the American shows and all the YouTube channels is that there's quite a tight community. It's like everybody is kind of like banding for each other. It's like grow together and stuff like that. The Gary B, the casual comic guy collector's doing. But like with the greatest of respect to the UK comic community, like there's quite a lot of us now, but I don't know if we're as kind of a tight as maybe the American community is. So I don't know how that would go.
I don't know. I just think everyone else is tight apart from me because I just feel like I'm never invited on anything. It's like fucking I go on that fucking quiz show that what's his face, Donald Comics does. Like he's everyone says, "Oh, Gray should be on this. He knows all the answers." Never get fucking invited. I feel like typing, how many people have got to die before I get invited on this fucking show?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm officially giving you my spot.
No, there you go. That's it.
You're more than welcome to it.
I'm sulking. I'm not coming on now. Even if he begged me, I'm not coming on.
It's a principle.
Exactly. Put my foot down.
It's. But yeah,
I think got on it.
Even me. I'm terrible.
Exactly.
No, but that's what I was thinking about. You know, you guys. That's one of the things that's different. I think that the UK community is kind of more focused on, reading and stuff. Oh, hey, there's Firehawk. What's up?
If Firehawk, can you, Greyman, can you drop the link if that's all right? And if Firehawk's not busy, he'll jump on as well. Firehawk's a great guy. Great support of the community.
I've seen him a couple of times on my streams, but I don't think, has he got a channel? I don't think I've ever seen him do any videos. Does he do videos?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen him in a channel or anything. I've had the privilege to have him once on mine, and he's such a great guy. And great support of the community. I guess like the UK comic community is like there's lots of us, but we're kind of all like in little niches almost. It's like, you know, there's different, you know, as opposed to one big community like the American guys are. So
maybe it's it's definitely been a heck of a lot. Like in the last year or two, like it seems to have just overnight, like suddenly like Dino coming on, then like loads of more came along, and it was like wow. And like the only two when I sort of started, the only like three people. That's the Key Chaser, James JPL Flash, and Comic Book McD, and that's the only three that was around. And even I don't know, I think I've got more spare time than other people. So I'm unemployed fucking bum. So I'm like on people's channels watching videos all the time, and it just feels like I comment on so many people's videos, get fuck all comments back, and it's just like, well, that's it. I ain't gonna comment on your shit anymore. You can't bother to watch my videos. I'm not gonna fucking bother watching yours. I'm a vindictive bitch.
You'll let James from Comic Deal.
Is that what he does? Is it?
Oh yeah, he's like that all the time. So he is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think just people have got different fucking, you know, people have got different fucking priorities. You know, it's just because I'm a fucking unemployed bum that I'm on here all the time. So I'm watching lots of videos and commenting a lot. And just understand other people haven't got as much time to do that, have they? Really? So
I blame Tyler.
Annoyed about it.
It's my fault. Yeah.
Is it?
Tyler wouldn't go live today because he wasn't drunk enough.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I said I'm not drunk enough to make that mistake again.
Cheers, Werewolf. If you want to come on, Werewolf, I know your setup's normally rubbish, but if you want to come on, you can try.
Werewolf by lunchtime. What a name!
That's awesome. Yeah. That's so funny.
Oh, he's actually from South London, but he moved to Australia. So
South London,
South London Aussie,
like Geeky Guy Comics, like Charlie.
Yeah. I keep wanting to go and say, what do you mean bloody London? You're not even in London, you're in Croydon. Croydon's not London. Croydon has been annexed by London because London grew into you. You're not a bloody Londoner, mate. You're bloody Kent, more or less.
Myself, Ben, Charlie are all meeting up at Thought Bubble Comic Festival in November. So that'll be interesting. That'll be the first time we've all met properly. So it's either going to go fantastically well or we're going to hate each other and it's just going to be chaos.
No, I'm sure I'll be fine. Where's that Thought Bubble? I've never heard of it.
It's in Harrogate, apparently.
Okay. Well, isn't that not Yorkshire? Is that Yorkshire, Harrogate?
Yorkshire
is Yorkshire. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Got a couple of comics in the house.
Yeah, he's cool. Right. If anyone no one else wants to join, we might as well bugger off. Maybe I'm not too sure. I might go and get my.
Is anybody coming on? Anybody? Last orders at the bar. If anybody wants to come on,
I was going to go and get some books that I got recently. That means that you'll be on your own. So I thought maybe I don't know. No, getting your cock out, and I think I'll bugger up.
It won't be the first time. It won't be the last time, Greyman. So
yeah, I'll take the chance. I'll take the chance. Shall I? You might get me more views.
Go for it. So how is everybody? If I could scroll up and down in the chat, I would all call you out. So we have who have we got? So we said Werewolf by lunchtime. Obviously get Firehawk. So if Firehawk, get on Firehawk, come and chat to me. Surely Tim, I think Surely Tim was trying to get on the stream, but his internet wasn't playing ball. So good to almost see Surely Tim. A couple of comics I've mentioned. Anybody else? Tyler's obviously pissed off. And then Greyman's got a big stack of books that he's going to show everybody. So let's dive into this.
Firehawk is here. Hello.
There he is. My man. How are you, my man?
What's going on, brothers? What's going on?
Just all the better for seeing your face. Are you well? What are you drinking?
We got a little Pinot Noir Reserve.
Oh, suits you, sir. I seen your Instagram. I can't even remember. All the days are rolling into one. It might have been today or yesterday, but you were drinking a little craft beer or a craft something or other.
It's usually craft something for sure.
Yeah, it was craft something. See, I was partaking in these bad boys today. So this is a Brewdog Mallow Laser Quest. So this is a marshmallow and pineapple hazy IPA.
That's very interesting.
I get like a beer 52 box every month. You see my beer guys showing.
Hold on. Andy, not just one of them.
Just a few.
So
just a few.
I get to taste some interesting beer. I was going to show you what.
Listen, it's been a long night.
You were saying about collected books, Tyler, and I managed to pick these up pretty cheap off Facebook. These showcases. Some of these go for a lot of money now because they're out of print.
Yeah.
I got them for about £6 each. So that wasn't too bad.
Greyman, you didn't buy them from Facebook. You stole them from a library. Tell me.
No. There's no library card. It's like, oh shit. Oh, no.
That's when you sign them out and you just go.
That might have been where they got them from, but no, as far as I know, none of these are ex-library. But I don't know why I bought them, because just because they were kind of like cheapish and they're like the ones that I don't have, and it would save me having to buy them. It's like going to be ages before I'm going to get around to reading them because I've got such a big stack of things to read already. So I can we have Dino and the Nerdheld in the house. Drop a link and see if Dino wants to join in. I think I dropped it in when he first popped in. Actually, I put the link in again if anyone wants to come in.
He's probably still in his pajamas. He probably doesn't want to come in. He's probably in his pajamas.
He's sitting there drinking his Horlicks
naked.
Army at war, yes.
Yeah, he's sitting there drinking his Horlicks probably, and he's like in his rocking chair. I don't know how I can say that when I'm older than him. Why did I say that for? That's ridiculous.
Wow, that's some Flash too.
I'm a little upset. I missed Greyman's war covers today. They did the Cover Slingers war covers.
Yeah, it was war covers. I think Man Cave won again. No, we won. I can't remember who won now. I know it was a new guy, Roscoe. First time he'd been on, and he won.
Oh,
I'll show you what I could show you what I show. Yeah, Roscoe. I can show you what my comics were. My comics are all my birthday books, September 1969, because it's the only ones that I had, more or less. I've probably got a few war books somewhere else, but It was just,
I love a good war book. I'm not gonna lie. I'm into the war covers now. I think that's my thing. The war covers for sure.
Joe Kubert war
Beautiful.
covers are amongst the best.
You put
Joe
me a
Kubert war
swastika on a
covers.
war cover, I'm like a swastika fan. In a weird
that's
way.
it. That's this video demonetized.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ones I showed off anyway. So I think I came
Beautiful.
second
I
from
love a
last.
good
Walking.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's all good comic. I can't remember what next month's theme is now. Next week's theme. What's next week's theme?
Speaking of war, so we just finished off crossing over with Comic Deal, and whenever we were backstage afterwards, Tyler decided to pull out his gun, which doesn't sound as exciting as I've described it. But Tyler, show everybody your World War something or other gun.
Well, you can literally see it. It's sitting back there, but
is that it resting gently against your wall?
Resting gently.
I don't know what's the rules for Facebook. Is there like any rules against?
Make sure it's unloaded.
It is unloaded.
Tyler, you didn't care about the rules whenever I came back from the toilet.
We were behind the
scenes. You were brandishing a rifle.
This is a casual weapon then up against the wall. It's,
Look at those sexy blue shorts. 6'3" this guy is apparently as well. He was telling us in the backstage. 6'3" of pure Kentucky muscle.
And he doesn't need a gun, surely. He's like 6 foot
just
3.
so everyone's aware, it is completely unloaded. It is
this is like ASMR
bullet in the chamber. There's no.
Is that your vermin killing gun for if you get a mouse in the house? Like you just cut that bad boy and just fill it full of buckshot.
22.
Wait a minute. All I say is America. Fuck yeah, America.
Yes. Are we breaking guns out on this stream? Because I can go.
I was gonna say bring out.
Epic and I Relief does guns on his channel. He's like guns and comics. He used to be anyway. But I think he's just comics now. But he used to do guns and comics. I hate guns. I hate them. I think they're horrible. It's just like nasty. Bad. Guns bad.
Hey man, you've got a couple of guns under those t-shirts. What are you kidding?
Yeah, those are different. Well, pimples maybe.
I have one on my Vortex. This is actually a rifle scope company.
Yes, I've got a few
there
of
you
those.
go.
I've got a few of those.
What is going on? I feel so intimidated. There's so much gun talk going on.
Yeah. This is actually a picture from that James Agos did for my cover slingers today. That's what I look like with my shirt off. Yes. It's Sergeant Grey, Grey Maniac Scabber with the beard on the
in your dreams, Grey Man, in your dreams.
Here.
Oh, there you go. Look, see, he's
Is that your
probably American?
Is that your take into the shower gun?
Right.
I know you gun collectors have got guns for every occasion. Like, this is my teeth cleaning gun. And like, this is my back scratcher gun.
The closet gun.
Yeah, I feel bad. Mine was just it's more of a collector item than an actual. I mean, I'm
not gonna lie. I prefer Grey Man's guns.
It does fire. I have been informed that it does fire. It's just it's from World War II, so it's
I have a horrible feeling that Firehawk's going to brandish it. Oh, he is.
Oh
Jesus!
Is that a Glock? You got the Glock?
Just a Glock. Safe is locked up. This is the first thing I could grab. Little Glock, 31, small frame. It's a 45.
I think. If I look carefully, I've got a pointed stick somewhere in my house for protection. There's like a pointed stick next to the door.
Hey man, that's absolutely disgusting. If there's any reason for this video to be demonetized, it's with your pointy stick.
Like hollow point 45.
That is horrific.
45 cal. There you go.
Nice.
Stop somebody.
Firehawk, you're so American. I love
it. Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
You got to shoot in the ceiling while you say that. And is he not a de rigueur? You got to shoot one off in the ceiling. Is there anyone upstairs?
You have to be careful with the neighbor upstairs.
Yeah, he'll understand.
If there's somebody above me, there's a problem.
Yeah, they can be shot. Yeah, it's just like celebration.
I wanted to get my FKS out. I got a 1948 88 Chinese SKS. I was like, I'll grab that, but the safe. You know,
Those have gotten expensive.
combinations.
Firehawk. Now you're just talking dirty. What? I have no idea what that just meant.
So
yes.
Just think all that gun
SKS.
money.
So SKS is the kind of
Chinese,
parent
right?
of the AK-47. Yeah,
Yes.
Chinese. Yeah, I have a
Special killing series.
Chinese SKS. Yeah.
And what circumstances would you need a Chinese AK-47?
Yeah, just
It's getting kind of close.
Like,
here
how good
in
are your
America.
comics?
I
I
don't know where
mean,
you guys are
Firehawk,
at,
how
but,
good
yeah.
are your comics that you need to protect them with a Chinese AK-47? That's what I want to know.
got our bacon guns, steak guns, and McDonald's guns, family. Let's not get into talking about the
It's
rights
another
and
hobby,
wrongs of
brother,
guns. Yeah, I just think you could buy like, if you got a key comics you could buy if you didn't spend it on guns. Oh man, shocking.
I'm just worried that
is
Tyler's
true.
gun
See,
is
I
so
work comics,
insignificant compared to Firehawk's
that's
and
kind of,
EER or ear. Ear. Tyler's
Well,
gun
like I
was
said,
just
mine
crap.
it was handed down. It's my wife's
Errol?
great grandfather's, so it's not you know.
Is that like a? Oh, I think he's. It was going funny. I mean, he was getting a bit of a lag or something. I think. Not too sure.
Less money on guns and more on his internet connection. That's what I said for Firehawk.
Yeah, good idea. No, he's back. He's back. You might have accidentally fired his gun into his computer by accident.
Oh.
No, his device is not connecting.
Uh-oh. He did that one time. I think he tried to join in another stream we were on, and he had some issues with his internet. So,
but oh no, he's gone completely now. Okay, I thought it was better if I come in properly, but now he's disappeared again. Yeah, my internet's been pretty crap lately. I've tried streaming my blinking Fallout, and it kept fucking kicking me out every 5 minutes. A bit of pain in the ass. So it seems like no matter how much you pay for your bloody internet, it still won't work. Here you go. It's been replaced by a couple of comics. Firehawk's out. A couple of comics is in.
How's it going?
Hey.
How's it going, couple of comics? Do you have any guns that you would like to show? Because everybody else seems to be showing guns.
Comics or guns you're allowed to show about on the show?
Comics or guns? I'm so intimidated with all the guns that are being shown right now, to be honest.
Comics with guns on the cover, or if you've got any guns with comics on them, that's even better. That wins the internet.
There's got to be at least someone that has comics on their guns. You know, there's got to be
a Superman on the logo.
Yeah, Superman on a rifle or
Punisher on
something.
the crosshair or something. Yeah. No, you didn't. We didn't kick you. You disappeared, mate. You disappeared. You was in there. Then you tried to come back, and then you. I think you was having lag issues, but you try and come in. We didn't kick you out.
I was going to say his internet shot, but that's probably a bad analogy right now.
Yeah.
I shouldn't really say that.
Yeah, no, it seemed like he was lagging because at one point I could hear him talking at the same time as Andy was talking, and I wasn't sure if it was some kind of lag. And then he disappeared, and then he tried to come back, and he wasn't able to. Anyway, let's talk to the Cup. How's it going, mate?
It's going good. It's going good. I actually, I don't own a gun. I am an American, but
are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're an American? You haven't got a gun. I thought in New York you had to have 2 guns for every one that most of the rest of the people had in. Or is there kind of some kind of amnesty in New York? We're all friendly and lovely to each other.
New York City, you wish you had a gun, but they don't.
All right. Is it banned then in New York?
No, I wouldn't say it's bad. Well, now maybe, but no, it's not like the New York of the 80s or the 90s. Like you can walk down the street in New York now, so it's not bad.
What are you drinking? Cup of comics? What is it? What are you?
So this is Luscious. So since I was coming on, it's a British Imperial Ale.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh,
nice.
British Imperial Stout. Sorry. So I figured since I was
is it actually brewed in Britain, or is it just a British style?
No, just British style. This is brewed in Vermont.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So I figured since I'm here, I'd pour out a little British style beer.
I'm jealous now because I haven't got any beer tonight. Never mind.
I've run it. I've run it. My beers. I was showing everybody I was on these bad boys, but
yeah. Brewdog. Nice. And I'm using my Defend beer. This is from Brooklyn Brewery.
Okay.
This is,
cool.
New York Comic-Con glass. So these
Oh,
were
wow.
sold at New York Comic Con.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Looks like you got a taste of good beer, mate. Looks like a nice one. Nice dark beer. Nice.
It is.
Oh, man. Oh, I really fancy a beer now.
What's your favourite beer, Grey Man? What's your favourite?
Just anything. Stout, bitter, mostly the dark beers.
As long as it's wet. Is that basically what you're saying?
Yeah,
as long as it's wet.
I'm not a massive fan of hoppy ones. I'm not a massive fan of hoppy ones, but I've got a bit more used to them now because I do that beer show every month. So I've got slightly more used to them. But I much prefer like a stout or a porter, something like that.
A nice porter, yeah. I'm a porter man.
Yeah, a nice dark beer is more. We've got more character, I think, more flavours.
A bit like Tyler.
What's that?
More character, more flavour. Isn't that right, Tyler?
No. IPA all the way.
IPA. No. What he isn't telling everybody, this is a low calorie.
No,
IPA
this is the real one. I drank 2 of these, which are real hop. This is West 6 from Lexington, Kentucky. IPA. This one's.
You should be drinking bourbon, surely.
I have lots of bourbon, but tonight's a beer. Tonight's a beer night. Can't get too crazy.
95% of the world's bourbon is made in Kentucky, the other 5% being Virginia, apparently. So
there's a couple in like Tennessee, Virginia.
Okay.
There's a couple in Indiana. There's one in Texas. I've had. That's one of the myths about bourbon. It doesn't have to be made in Kentucky. It just has to be made in North America. There's some other rules, but yeah, I've got a lot of bourbon. But I drank that last week for the Derby.
That's Wikipedia lying to me then. I do a heavy metal podcast every week, and once a month I do a themed show. I did a Kentucky special a while back, so I do all these Kentucky facts.
Wow.
They're all fading now. They're all fading. Now you've got the largest cave system in the world, the Mammoth Caves.
Caves, yeah.
It's the largest cave system, and I don't know. There's a bit called a Kentucky Bend, which is separate from the rest of Kentucky because it's stuck on the other side of the river and it's surrounded by some other state. But yeah, I forgot all the rest of the stuff I learned about Kentucky is now gone. Oh yeah, and it's Louisville, not Louisville. It's Louisville, apparently.
That's where I'm from. I'm from Louisville, not
Louisville. Yeah, Louisville.
Not exactly Louisville, not Louisville, not Louisville.
No,
it's Louisville.
It sounds like a Lovecraftian demon from beyond. Like, Louisville is coming.
Yeah. Firehawk is back.
Oh, is he back?
I think he's there.
This StreamYard is a pain in the ass because if you look at the faces underneath, you can't see them. You can just see the top 5. It's easy to not spot the one that's below, kind of thing. Yeah,
right. Who's the YouTuber that he has like beer incorporated into his YouTube name, but he does comic books. He does comic books, but he has like a beer name.
I saw someone does like a beer and comic show, didn't I? I saw someone did a beer and comic show.
I don't know if you were familiar. I forgot.
Yeah, no, I can't remember one that's. There was a Beard Bee comic or something like that at one point. And he did some weird kind of videos, but I can't remember. He did like I think he did Batman doing the Christmas Carol around Christmas time. He put on the Batman voice and he was reciting the Christmas Carol or something weird like that. It was quite good actually. He really sounded like a good impression of Batman, but it was odd. Hide the kids. He's back. Cool. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was in reference to. Do you want to come on, Chaos? You guys will click. You will sub to Chaos. He's a good channel. I watch all. He does lots of videos, and I watch most of them. He's about 4 a week or something.
What do we think about this cover that's coming out for Moon Knight?
Ooh.
Like, this is the previews that just came out.
Oh, yeah.
What do we think?
It doesn't look like a costume, but it looks more like a statue or something somehow. I don't know. It's weird.
It's pretty wild.
Who's the artist? Firehawk?
Steve McNiven.
It's beautiful. McNiven, yes. That is beautiful.
Hey, Chaos.
I think it's crazy.
Hey, man, I'm
It's wild, yeah.
It's a lot of detail.
Yeah. Do you know everyone?
Now that Chaos is here.
Yeah. Collecting Chaos. Check out his videos, man. He does like 4 a week or 3 a week. It's like Friday, Freestyle Friday, and I don't know, Wacky Wednesday and Madcap Monday.
My Monday morning show. I have the the Eternal My Light project on Wednesdays, and then Freeform Friday. But I don't know what I'm going to do until I do it. And then I'll be dropping some other ones here and there on collecting comics and the basics, like I did earlier this week.
Yeah, you started doing live streams as well now, haven't you? You've done about 2 or 3 live streams. Yeah, that's cool.
I just observed something. We have each progression of like beard growth. We have clean shaven and like.
Let's see if I can let's see if I can sort the order out. I think. Oh, I don't know. Would you say? Yeah. Maybe that's right. And Firehook's come in. Where's he going to go in the beard? The beard progression chart.
Yeah, he's like right in between.
Ray, you're at the bottom.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'd say that. That's all right.
He's last on internet progression.
There we go. There we are. We're all the way up from the clean shaveness to the hirsuteness of them all.
That's amazing.
I cut my beard off probably 35 years ago.
You shaved off 35 years ago?
Yeah.
I'm too lazy.
After I got out of the army, I grew one, and
I
just up and shaved it off.
Yeah, I've been trying to get my dad to grow a beard. My dad shaves all the time. He's a right hairy bugger. Like if he didn't shave, like he'd grow a beard in a couple of days probably. Like, but he refused. Said, "Come on, Dad, grow a beard like me. Come on, I want to see you. Like you're 82 now. Don't stop wasting all that time every day having a shave. Just let it grow out. You know, I want to see you with a big Santa beard." But he's like, "I ain't doing no. I don't want to." It's like, it's just laziness on my part. Anyway, I don't know about other guys. You guys are kind of pristine and like waxed and stuff like that. I'm just like, yeah.
I don't think I've ever been described as pristine in my life.
Well, thank you for me anyway.
I'll take it.
Well, Gray Man, he watches most of my videos. No,
I do.
That's a bunch of crap. He never missed a video.
I know. I try not to. Well, I'm an unemployed bum, so I get more time than most people. So, I'm always. Oh, someone else has fallen away. This is dropping like flies. I can't even work out who's gone. Oh, Tyler's gone. Is it Tyler? Yeah. Oh well. That's kind of thrown off the beard chart. Have you got any guns, Chaos? They was all showing their guns earlier on, apart from a couple comics.
I sold them years ago. Even though I live in Texas, I don't need a gun.
You're quite out in. You think you were sending someone the other night on your stream that you're quite far away from other places, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the boonies.
No. That's the thing. You got so much land there. Like such big places to sort of build and sort of it's kind of crazy. I remember when I was.
Yeah, I look out my backyard and I see pasture with cattle.
Yeah.
And they're not mine.
I think that we got the smallest houses in Europe or something, UK, haven't they, Andy? Did you hear that statistic? I think we're the smallest houses in the whole of Europe because we've got such a small country, really, and the amount of people that live in here, we're kind of all pinched in house-wise. Yeah.
Oh,
every street you walk down is a piece of history, isn't it?
Yeah, there is that.
History there.
There is definitely that, yeah. But it's we've got poky little houses normally, so we haven't got so much room for our collections.
Fortune.
One time I was in Leeds and stayed in the house there. It was like 3 times the size of the one I live in now.
Oh, right, okay.
That's that big. It's just my house is really small.
Right. Firehawk, your internet is really struggling.
Yeah. AT&T 1 gig internet cannot keep up with you guys.
Is that? I'm not into the technology. Is that big internet? It sounds like a lot of internet, is it not?
That's like the best you can get. Like
Firehawk. This is a lot of bandwidth. This is a lot of bandwidth, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm running about 30 gigabits.
Wow. Okay, I have no idea what mine is. I know how much it costs me, and I think it should be better for what I'm paying. But there you go, it's not. So I've got the grainy screen. I think that's my laptop camera. What's everyone else on? Are everyone else on laptops? Or are you on?
I'm on an iPad. Old ass iPad. So that's probably the problem. I'm on like an iPad Air 2 from who knows when. It's a piece of shit.
Your picture's good though. Your picture's clean as a bell. I've got bloody nothing but lines all over mine. I look like I'm from the 1970s and my blinking screen quality.
Oh, you are from the 1970s.
I've got the 1970s porn bush for a beard, but other than that, I'm like.
That's why
like we're watching you.
I thought he was like old school TV from 1975.
I thought we were watching you on like VHS.
It might as well be VHS. Yeah, I didn't sort my tracking out.
Yeah. There's no tracking button here.
Yeah.
What I'm running this computer that this one's on, I've got 2 or 3 on my desk here.
Yeah.
This one's an 8-core that I built a few years back. It's only got like 32 gigabytes of RAM and a couple of terabyte hard drives.
Ah, cool.
And the camera I bought.
Most of that goes over my head. When people start talking about like bits and bytes and all that, I'm like, yeah, I don't really know that. I'm used to technology, really. I know it's sort of run it, but when it comes to like how many bits of this and how many bits of that it does, I'm like, don't know.
If it gets past 16-bit, I'm kind of out. You know, like Game Boy and 64 is probably my max.
I bought a computer so I could do 3D graphics.
Okay.
And by the time I got it couldn't handle 3D graphics.
Yeah.
Build another one.
I made this computer that I bought when I got redundant. I thought I'd buy myself a decent computer because the one that I had was so slow, it was just getting on my nerves. So I got this one. It was like it starts really quickly. It starts like 3 times as quick as the old one. I didn't think about the bloody memory though. It's got tiny bloody memory. Literally, I downloaded a few things. Oh, memory is full. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So now I still have to use my old laptop that was slow as an arsehole because this one can't take anything other than a few files. You know, so it's like it starts up quickly, but I can't do anything on it hardly.
The bad part about laptops is the memory has to go to producing your graphics also.
Yeah.
So you can have a lot of memory, but you lose about half of it to graphics.
Okay, well, I don't do much for graphics. Does this count as graphics? Watching videos?
Absolutely.
I don't play any games on here or nothing like that. Does anyone else do any gaming on their PCs?
I do a little World of Warcraft once in a while. That's about it.
Okay. What's your character's name? Come on, Chaos. Is it Chaos? Are you called Chaos in the land of war or lords, whatever it's called?
No, actually, Xenoshoes.
Xenoshoes.
It's a troll. Zenoshues. But if you say it slowly, it's Z, no shoes.
Oh, okay.
Trolls don't wear shoes.
Okay. Fair enough. Is that because they can't get them in their size? I'm assuming it's a size issue.
And then I have a goblin rogue. Let's see if I can remember the name. It's another one of those oddball names that I picked because it has a double meaning.
Right. Cool.
Zwindle. Xwindle.
Zwindle, like swindle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Swindle.
So you're a dishonest goblin.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Cool. What about you guys play role playing games? I know you guys shown off some of your role playing game stuff before, weren't you, Chaos? But then have you other guys ever played Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that?
I played Dungeons and Dragons from 1976 to 1999.
Blimey. You got one of the earliest blinking editions then, didn't you? 1976. When did it come out?
No, I had the first edition.
First edition must be the same. Must be one of the earliest ones.
As a matter of fact, I still have it somewhere. It's the first edition, first print of the original 3 books: Men in Magic, Monsters and Treasures, and Underworld Adventures.
Right. They're probably worth a few bob now if it's the first bloody editions.
Well, considering I sold a 7th edition for like $170 back in the 90s, yeah, it's worth a little bit.
Wow. I think I've got the basic one. I think it was just called basic one I got. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway. What about you, Eye Relief? Do you ever play any role playing games?
Like a strategy board game?
Well, no, like a desktop, like just the imagination, the power of the mind, and a few dice.
Not on my computer. I play some system games, but I used to play Risk.
Okay.
Oh,
That
really?
was a little while back.
Yeah.
I used to play with like 8 people and 4 boards, and
Yeah,
it used to go
it
crazy.
gets crazy.
That's like world domination, isn't it? Risk.
Yeah,
Is that
little
is that
bit.
like evil dictators, like sort of training set, something like that?
Yeah, but we're the evil dictators.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
I
Got
got
any-
something in the mail today that's kind of cool.
I was literally about to ask you that. I was literally about to say, have you got anything in the mail recently?
Yeah.
Boris the Boris the Bear. You were collecting them, weren't you? You was trying to collect the whole run, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm still working on it, but I picked like the first 20.
How many of them are there? I never really heard of it, Boris the Bear.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah. Cool. Anything? Is that what you got? Is that what you got today?
Well, I got a whole stack of them, but I didn't want to show them all.
Oh, okay, fair enough. What about you, Cup? Got anything interesting in the mail lately, or been reading anything cool lately?
I just got this today, and it was a lot more than this. I bought a collection, and then I went through it, and
Cool.
these are just a bunch of like minor keys, but there's some cool stuff in here. Like I got Marvel Team Up.
Cool.
And this is with the Human Torch. What else?
Did you get a good for a good price?
Oh yeah, I think I paid about 50 cents a book for the collection.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, I got a bunch of ROM, which I didn't have a lot of. There's a bunch of ROM here. What else did I get? I got some Marvel 2-in-1s with the Thing.
Yeah.
Other people. I got Master of Kung Fu.
Oh, cool.
So there was a bunch of books that I didn't really have in my collection, and I got a lot of newer stuff, but I've been missing out on a lot of Bronze Age stuff. So I got some Avengers stuff, which was cool. So this was just stuff that I picked out of a bigger collection, but there's some like minor covers here.
That's a nice one. That's a classic one.
Yeah,
with Ant-Man on the arrow. That's got a classic picture in it.
Yeah, there was actually 2 of these in this collection for some reason.
Cool.
So yeah, I got 2 of those, and then I got
That's good for 50 cents a piece. Bloody hell.
Yeah,
Very nice.
That's so so it's cool. Bunch more Avengers.
Yeah.
So
where'd you get that from? eBay or like a flea market or?
I got it off the internet. Yeah, so it was this was eBay. It was an eBay purchase.
Right.
And so it was like a lot that was listed, and it had a best offer on it. So it was going for a lot, and I think I offered about half what they wanted, and they accepted it. And I was like, cool.
Oh, wow. Blimey.
Yeah, every time I make an offer, either they turn it down or they counter offer with a ridiculous counter offer.
Yeah.
Or they just ignore it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because sometimes you think, why did you put blinking make an offer if you have no intention of accepting an offer? It's just like...
I have made offers that were turned down the second that I made the offer.
Yeah, I feel like they have an automatic thing, don't they? They have an automatic thing. Any offers below a certain amount, ignore them out of hand, kind of thing. I think. But
there's one that was for some Action Comics, and I was interested in, but they were really low grade. The guy wanted way too much money for them.
Yeah,
they were worth $60.
Right.
So and he was asking for 120. So I told him, I'd be interested in 80, but they're really not worth that. He came back with a counter offer of 100.
Yeah.
I was by offering 80, so I just it's not worth. The condition just isn't there.
Yeah, I'm normally too weak when it comes to buying comics. I'm sure I've ripped myself off a few times. It's like I want them though. I know they're asking a lot of money, but I want them. They're there. I could buy them now. Just give over these pieces of paper and they'll be mine. Later on, I'm looking at them going, what the fuck did I buy these for?
I made an offer on an old Wonder Woman comic from a Golden Age. Guy wanted 280. I didn't quite think it was there. I offered him 250, which I thought was a really fair offer. He didn't mind responding at all.
Oh well.
And he's relisted it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Relist it that many times, you're into it for a lot of money. Just get rid of it by then.
Yeah. No, so you've paid for the fees for listing it. You might as well have sold it off at a cheaper price, 5 weeks ago.
I've seen extreme examples of that. They'll have a book that's worth maybe $50, and they'll have it posted for $2,000, and it'll sit there for like 3 years.
Yeah. Why do they do it? They think people are going to go on, and maybe someone's drunk when they go on there or something. They're looking for the drunk bloody or the. It's like Amazon, the Amazon marketplace. So people there's nothing. If there's no book on there, there's just one person will come out and they'll put a stupid price on it because no one else is selling it. It's crazy. I had this book. It was a Frank Herbert, The Fog or something like that, or The Rats, and it was like a comic book version of that. And I went on there, and everyone had a massive price on it, and I had to have a copy that I was like, oh, so I put it just under what everyone else has done. I'll make mine the cheapest, and it sold just like that. So it was all right. I think it was like 70 quid or something I got for it. It was like crazy.
I've seen a couple listings where they say in original packaging, but it's literally in a bag and board, and it's just like whatever bag and board they bought it from. They're like Beer Mint guaranteed 9.8 in original packaging, and it's in a bag and board.
What I'm up is when they're showing the X-Force cards with Deadpool, rare, second print, but because it has like a white Captain America or a black Captain America in the little box or the.
Oh yeah.
Well,
that's like you showed them off the other day that you got 3 different X-Force with Deadpool, 3 different boxes,
all out of the same box at the same time from the same computer.
It's really weird, wasn't it? Because one was a barcode, one was a Captain America, one was a black Captain America, black in the box for some reason. It's weird.
Yeah, and that's just the way they made them.
Yeah.
But people are trying to sell them as they came out at different times or they were available in different outlets. But no, they all came out at the same time, and they would send them that way.
You know what I do? When people have something like that and it's some exorbitant price, like a ridiculous price, I'll have the same book sometimes when this happens. And I'll sell you mine for half the price of yours. You want to buy mine?
Yeah.
Oh, I had a guy, when I had a store, I had a guy come in with an X-Men, and he wanted $20 for it. And I looked at him and I said, I'm not going to give you $20 for it. Well, it's worth $40. And I said, yeah, would you like to buy one for 10? No, I want to sell it for 20. And I went, okay.
If I was selling it for 10, well,
issue bins, and I pulled out a stack of like 15 of them, and I said, $10 a piece. You know why they're $10 a piece? Because they don't sell for 20. I'm gonna mark them down to $7.50 because they don't sell for 20 either.
Hey man, I'm going to call it a night. I'm busted, but thank you for having me on, guys. It was so nice to meet everybody. Thank you.
Cheers for coming in, mate. I'll probably not go on for too much longer because it's like gone 2 a.m.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day, but guys, have a good Sunday when it comes. So,
and I'm going to hop over to Mike's channel. He's doing an auction tonight.
Okay, cool. Good luck.
Yeah, Comic Book Steals and Deals. He does an auction on Saturday.
Oh yeah. He has good stuff.
Cool. See you later, fellas. Cheers.
Catch you later. Bye.
See you later.
Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, cheers. Nice chatting to you, mate. So I don't know. Anyone else got anything they want to share or talk about?
I like the Ice Cream Man series. I've been reading that and collecting it, all the different variant covers and stuff. Okay. I always liked it from the beginning, even when no one liked it.
I think they got quite hot quite quickly. I seem to be cool. Like I managed to pick up that #1 just because it was going in a 50p bin in like Forbidden Planet. And I saw it. I thought, lots of people are talking about it. Oh, I'll pick it up. I don't think it'd be worth anything now, but I don't know. So it's quite like the indie books, kind of crazy. They can sort of rocket suddenly, and then they'll get a TV show or a blinking movie or something. It seems to be where they sort of like, if you're really into specking, then might as well buy every single #1 of every indie book that comes out.
I forgot when I bought my #1 issue. I forgot when it was way before it became a crazy book. Yeah. I think I paid like $110 or $120 for my book, the graded one, the graded 9.8.
Oh, right.
But I started reading it issue 7. When it was at issue 7, I started reading it, and I was like, man, this series is crazy. It's like a twisted version of the Twilight Zone, which I always liked the Twilight Zone. I always liked that series. So then I was like, I'm like, let me get #1. I want to get #1 of this. And then all of a sudden, after a year, then everyone likes it. It's kind of strange, huh?
Yeah, just the way it happens sometimes.
What's good about Ice Cream Man though is you can jump on it at almost any point because there's no continuity. So
yeah, it's like the old Bronze Age DC horror, isn't it? It's just like an anthology book with like a central character that's like kind of like part narrator, part kind of book, kind of like bookend of the beginning of the end of the story, that kind of thing. Kind of like connecting themes for him as well. It's kind of some kind of mystery associated with the Ice Cream Man as well in there. Does that get explored like his story later on, or is he always just like a connecting character?
I think he's just kind of there in the background, kind of seeing everything. But they also the same guy, Prince Max, is it Maxwell Prince? So I forget his name. The guy who wrote Ice Cream Man. He's also doing Ha Ha. It's all about the anthology about clowns, which is also really cool. But every time I read that, now every time I see a clown, I look at him completely different light, because I always thought of clowns as being happy, but none of those books have like a really happy ending, and it's just all of them are just completely like, whoa.
It's a kind of weird concept, isn't it? Well, I've not actually read any, but I've just got the idea it's like kind of depressing, kind of like melancholic and a bit wacky or a bit weird. I don't know. Oh, that's Ice Cream Man.
Yeah.
Is that number one or
issue 22? The Alan Qua cover.
So you got all the variants of that as well? Have you saying?
I try, because some of them they come out. So it's almost like they come out in bursts, like all the variants. Because they'll do issue 22, and no one will do a variant for it, and then maybe a week or two will pass. And then maybe 5 or 6 creators will have 7 different covers all come out at once. And then I try to pick up each one I can, but some of them slip through because they sell out too fast. And then you got people wanting $5,000 for something that's worth $10 max.
It gets crazy. Something gets crazy. I didn't even realize there was such thing as variants. Like all the while I was collecting monthly, because like I said, my comic shop wasn't that big. The guy in the shop wasn't really that much into comics anyway, so he never actually spoke about comics in my match. So I didn't even realize that variants were a thing. It's only when I started doing videos about it and watching other people's channels and talking about variants. I was like, what's a variant then? Oh, it's just the same comic with a different cover. Okay, what's the point of that? Like, I was like, I didn't get it. So as long as I've got one copy of the comic, that's all I'm bothered about. So that's just me. Everyone's got their own thing, ain't they?
Well, people go variant crazy. But I actually, speaking of variants, I have this one. This is Berserker number 1.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
But this is the second print number 1.
I haven't seen that.
Is that the shiny silver variant?
Right, it's a foil variant. But I got it for cover price, and then I realized that the same week that it was going for like $50-$60 online, and I was like, I just picked it up in a store. And
how much was it?
I picked it up for $4.99, I think, because it's a foil cover, so $5. But if you look this one up on eBay, I think it's selling right now for like $60. And I was like, when did that happen? It's a $5 book. It's a second printing. And normally second printings won't go for that much until way later. When people, when it gets picked up or something. This hasn't been picked up for anything, and it's already selling for like $60. I don't know.
I think it's bound to get picked up eventually, though, isn't it?
Keanu Reeves is writing it. So.
It's tailor-made, isn't it? Tailor-made for a Keanu Reeves thinking treatment, isn't it? A Keanu Reeves thinking starring role. Why wouldn't they? It seems it's kind of like John Wick, but like more immortal, more like able to take a bullet.
I still haven't.
An immortal John Wick.
Yeah, I still haven't read it or anything, but I'm interested. I picked up issue 1. I was lucky enough to pick up an issue. I went into my LCS yesterday. I think, when was it first released? Wasn't it released like 3 months or something? A while back, I thought.
It was about 6 weeks ago, I think, was the
6
issue
weeks,
1.
okay.
Yeah,
so I picked up
an okay from Simon.
Yeah, I got one of those. Let me see if I could grab it real quick without falling out of my chair.
So yeah, issue 1 is actually pretty good. It follows the immortal Berserker, and then with issue 2 just came out 2 weeks ago. So not this week, but the previous week. and that's the origin of the Berserker.
Right.
So, and he speculated up there. Your origin story was in issue 2. The first appearance is issue 1.
Yeah.
That's a nice cover.
Where was the cameo?
Yeah, right.
Cameo was in John Wick movie.
Right, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, I like the suppressor and everything on there on the rifle.
Is it gun accurate?
Right, it's a comic.
It looks accurate to me.
I wouldn't know.
It doesn't look like it's blown out of proportion. Actually, you know what this looks like? I could be wrong, but this looks like the Ruger Precision rifle. If you look up the Ruger Precision, that's an actual rifle that exists.
Okay.
The only reason I'm saying it's that is because of this. The stock back here looks like the Magpul MFS stock, or no, I might be wrong, but there's a certain make and model stock by Magpul. They make that.
I'll have to take your word on that, mate. I
know why?
No idea. You could be making up words for all I know, and I wouldn't be able to contest it.
If you have you looked up Keanu Reeves' training for the role of John Wick?
No.
If you go on YouTube and see him training, he's familiar with all that equipment. So I wouldn't doubt, because he's worked on this book, that he was very particular about being accurate on different things.
Yeah, probably. If he's like hands-on and he wants to be perfectionist about it, then yeah, I could quite see him doing that. Why just like, if you know these guns exist in the world, why would you say generic gun? You wouldn't necessarily, you'd say like, I want this to be the gun and I want it to look right, wouldn't you? Like, I mean, because apparently archery is something they fuck up a lot in comic books. Like, I've seen videos of people talking about like professional archers, and they say that's not how you hold a bow. That's not. They'll have the arms like crossed over wrong or something like that. Like the way they're, can't remember where I heard it now, but
you said archery, and I have the cover with all the arrows sticking out of the Berserker.
That one reminds me of that Wolverine cover, kind of.
Right.
With all the arrows in him. I forgot what.
Reminds me of Demon. There's a Demon cover from the 3rd series where he's all full of arrows and he's saying, missed me, now you've got to kiss me. But he's got a hammer in his head, he's got arrows over his body. So they haven't missed him at all. But yeah, it's just a bit of weirdness. Because he's a rhyming demon, so I suppose you get to say that because it rhymed.
I got something else too. I picked this up recently.
Oh, is that the old... is that not detective?
Yeah.
Not detective. What's it called?
It's a Batman the Cult.
But is it not from another run?
I don't know if it's from an actual. It might
Tales
be
of the Dark Knight. Is it not Tales from the Dark Knight? I'm sure there was a series in the 90s of Tales of the Dark Knight, and I'm sure there was a story from it called The Cult.
Okay. This is the original format that I read it in when I first had this book, but I saw this at my LCS for $5, and I thought it was a pretty wild series. These are referred to as graphic novels, correct? When it's like this?
Yeah, or trades or whatever. Yeah,
and it was Jim Starlin and Denny O'Neil, and the story's pretty crazy, where Batman gets kidnapped and brainwashed by a cult, and then he's dealing with the complications of that. So it's pretty, and then the Gotham goes into a state of martial law. It's pretty crazy if you read the series.
I'm not sure it's the same one I read that. I've not read that. Like Tales from the Dark Knight was a really good. I thought it was a really cool Batman run. It was like mostly like 4-parters, a couple of 2-parters, and they were good stories. But I've never actually got back and reread them again. It's like one of them ones. I should, if I live long enough, I'll reread them at some point maybe. But yeah, but that was quite a good run. It was one of my favourite stories, and it's called Masks, and like it's quite like popular kind of like trope or idea now that everything Batman does is all in his head, and we kind of dealt with that. And he was in the hospital, he's in the asylum, you've been going out just in a bin bag again, pretending to fight crime. And he held up his costume, and it was all like made out of old bags, it was like old bin bags. I mean, he'd lost all his money when his parents died, but they were saying, you've got this. You think you're rich, you think you're a vigilante, but you're just a poor, sad man who, got
in an insane asylum.
Yeah, that was the whole kind of premise of it, anyway. But it's really quite like only a 2-parter, but it was really kind of like wow, this is really fucking compelling. Like, it was a really good. I can't remember what it was now that sussed him that it was all that he wasn't, because he was believing it. But I think it was like, I don't know, either the woman cried a teardrop or something, or she bloody well had some expensive perfume on, and she was supposed to be some nurse, like in a crappy hospital, and it was like they wouldn't be wearing that expensive perfume. I can't remember what it was now, but Batman sussed it anyway in the end. I think it was Hugo Strange, because you know what, he's he's able to get into people's heads like that. So it was good. It was a cool story.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. What do you guys think of the new Batman? Has anybody been reading the new Batman? Big James Tynion? No. I hear mixed reviews. It's like people complain a lot because it's a lot of new characters. It seems like a new character comes out every like 4 or 5 issues.
Miracle Molly now is the latest, isn't it?
Miracle Molly's the latest one. I mean, you had the Clown Hunter.
Yeah.
You had Punchline. So
are these all just throwaway characters, right? There's no like depth to them, or what?
No, because they're all still alive. They all still exist. Yeah, in the universe. Yeah, it'll tell over time. The only one that seems to have really exploded is Punchline, because it's very hard to get her first appearance at a reasonable price. So I think her first appearance is going for like well over $100. So
what was her first appearance? Because I think I got an early appearance of hers. Like
it's Luck. I want to say it's Hell Arisen 3 was her first cameo, and then like Batman maybe 96, 98. I can't remember the exact number.
I think that's the one. I think I've got one of those. I think I've got Batman 90 something. You know, that's
like her true first appearance, really. Hell Arisen, I think, is her first cameo.
Is that one that's going for the big money? Hell Arisen.
Hell Arisen is going for the bigger money because it was a slightly less printed book.
Right.
So they made
something like just a mouth or something, like talking into a phone. Is that what that?
Yeah, it was like a last page. It's like a shadow, and it's like going for ridiculous money just because it's harder to get because there was less printed.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Cool. It's crazy. Will it last? We'll see.
I think what I've done as far as like reading goes, I pick up keys, graded keys, but as far as reading, I go with independents mostly, like Ice Cream Man, and then also why can't I think of it right now? The Conspiracy series.
Department of Truth.
Department of Truth.
I don't even read these, man. I just watch too many videos. I watch too many videos, man. I don't know everything, but I know some stuff from watching other videos.
Is that the?
This is the 4th print of the first cover. So
what was that other proof of something? What's it called? One of the versions of the first issue was called Proof of Production or something, and it's like an exclusive cover. It's pretty expensive. I saw it.
Yeah, there's a couple that are of Department of Truth that are really expensive,
but it actually says it on Proof of Concept.
Proof of Concept. Yeah.
Wow.
That's like really expensive.
I guessed that one. I must admit, I guessed that one. I didn't know it.
But yeah, that's a pretty expensive one. Yeah, I like the indies now. They've really boomed. Like Image, which a lot of people don't consider it still like an indie publisher, but it is by all accounts because the owners, the writers, the creators own the properties, and Image is just publisher. They just print the books.
And for the most part, they have free reign over what they're saying or doing.
Exactly. There's no like real editorial at Image, so to speak. So
everyone has to say hi D for
Hi D.
Hi D.
Hi D.
That's just a thing we do with when Werewolves in chat. Say hi to his missus for him.
Hi D again.
Happy birthday for the other day, D. Anyway, where was we? Yeah, I think the indies have kind of got it good in a way because it's the fact they're exciting because it's a new thing every so often. But I think it's like with Batman, you've seen it all, and all those heroes, you know the story, you've seen it all, and it can get a little bit tiresome. You know who's going to survive, but when you've got a new story, a new indie comic, you don't know any of the characters, you don't know what their story is going to be, you don't know who's going to be the hero, who's going to get killed. So it's a lot more kind of exciting, like, especially when they bump off someone you think's the lead, and in this, like, the last panel of the first book. Oh, so he's not the hero. Who is the hero? Where's this going? So they have that ability to sort of like capture you quite a lot, because it's a brand new thing, brand new concepts. It drags you in a lot quicker. But I think equally, by about a third or fourth, or whatever, they kind of like all the hooks they've got into you. Kind of like they're not really resolving this very well. And I think from what I hear of people talking about it, you get drawn in by the first couple of issues, and by about 3 or 4 more issues in there, actually, this is getting a bit silly now, or it's getting a bit boring, or it's not living up to the hype or the initial sort of spark of interest that it creates, you know? I imagine that's a difficult thing, though, to keep people intrigued and interested for, you know.
Criminal was like that. The series Criminal. I like that series.
I've not read that one.
What's going on, Alex?
Hey, Alex. How's it going, buddy?
How do you spec it all, Gray? Do you speculate?
No, I've got no. I'm not working, so I've got like limited funds. So like,
but even like there's something that like this book. I mean, you could still get this for cover price, $4.99.
What is that?
The Marvels #1.
Okay.
Alex Ross, I believe a month ago, released an article discussing 3 or 4 different characters he was creating from scratch, and they were going to be featured in this first issue. So it's not bad. It's cover price, $4.99, and it could be something I just want to pass along. You know, if you're interested.
Yeah. Those are the best type of specs, the ones that are still cover price, even after they come
definitely.
out.
Yeah, I don't think I'd buy anything that wasn't cover price. Like, I don't go to the comic shop much at all anyway. I hardly ever go to the comic shop. I got mine from Facebook and YouTube, eBay mostly. That's where I get most of my stuff from. Well, all my stuff actually. Occasionally I'll go to a comic shop. They've been shut for over a year probably, mostly shut for over a year. But every now and again, I'll go there and go through the cheap bins, you know, or try and get them cheap as I can. But I kind of get a few, like Simon sends me an AOK every now and again. So I've got like the first Berserker from him. I've got a couple of the Future States from him as well. But I don't sort of, I don't know, maybe if I sort of going cheap. But that's the thing, though. So for example, I remember there was a Batgirl, like her mask, like 29 or something like that. And when I was first doing videos, that first came about, people were paying $200 for it. It's like a brand new comic, and I ended up picking it up for about $5 or a couple of months later. Like, you know, it's like, whoever's paid $200 for this like a couple of months ago, you've wasted your money.
Right.
I have a funny, well, not a funny, it's a pretty cool story to tell you. Recently, a friend of mine who was visiting in America, I was talking to him about comic books. I hadn't seen him in years. And he was like, oh yeah, I used to collect in the 90s and I stopped, and I haven't really acknowledged the hobby since then. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, have you looked at any of the books that you maybe have? And he's like, yeah, I have everything still. And he's like, they're probably not worth anything. And then through our conversation, I was like, oh, do you have, New Mutants 98? That's a 90s book. And he's like, oh, yeah, I have like 10 copies of that. It's not worth anything. I'm like, no. Yeah. I was like, no, it's worth a lot. I'm like, you have something if you go back and look at that. So he was all excited. So he's going to go back and check it out.
You never know. That's the thing. You just don't know, do you? It's like, I got, because when I was sort of going through, when I sort of started doing comic book comment stuff on my channel, learning more about keys and that. I didn't know the phrase a key. I never heard of something being called a key or a grail. It was all new words for me when I started doing my YouTube videos. And I sort of discovered a lot of books that I didn't know that were worth money, worth like quite a bit of money kind of thing. And I keep telling this story about I never got ASM 300 because my comic shop never put it in my box. But I was collecting ASM and he never gave me that comic book. So I was going through my books. It's like 297, 298, 299, 301. It's like, oh man, I've got this one. But he did fuck up though. He did fuck up in my benefits. It's like swings and roundabouts. He gave me the first Harley Quinn. He put it in my box even though I wasn't collecting that title. And I was like, nice. I've paid for it now. I'll keep it. And I stuck it in the box. And I was going for my coins. I went, oh, this is the first Harley Quinn. I've seen people talking about this one. I'll quickly do a look up on that one. I went, oh, nice. I'll best put this in a bag and board then. And I think it was raw in the box. I thought, I'll best put a bag and board on this one.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Maybe 2 boards.
Yeah. So I missed out on the first Venom, but the first Harley Quinn. So
But even 298 and 299 are pretty expensive now.
probably, yeah, probably.
The ASM.
299 is his first appearance anyway. He's on the last
Right.
bloody panel, man. He's that's the first appearance. If
I
it
think
works for
299 is like an all white cover too. So
yeah, so is it called Chance or something like that? The guy,
Chance,
flying
right.
guy, firing something at Spider-Man.
yeah, he's like a gambler who's
298. The significance of that book is Eddie Brock's first cameo, and then the first Todd McFarlane Spider-Man art.
Okay.
That's the first time Todd McFarlane did Spider-Man was on that cover.
Yeah, I think the longer you keep on going, like the more sort of properties coming out, the more ones are suddenly becoming expensive. And I've been quite like sometimes I'm lucky and I'll buy something and it sort of shoots up a little while afterwards. Like I got first She-Hulk when it was like, and it kind of spiraled a bit after that one. I think it's just might have been announced for TV shows. That's gone up in price. Ghost Rider #1's gone up quite a lot. I think since I bought it.
Oh yeah.
And I made an investment. I thought I'll make an investment. Someone was selling the first Moon Knight, first in Werewolf by Lunch, Werewolf by Night, or whatever it was called, 34. So, and I thought that's a lot of money he's asking for. But I looked at it and I thought, well, what he's asking for, it's like it's worth more than that. The grade, you don't know what he never graded it. It was like an old boy just sending off his old comic books. And I looked at it. I thought, well, I look at the price he's asking. And there's other comic books on eBay, on my comic shop, worse condition, going for more than what he's asking for this book. And I thought, well, that's an investment. I think it's probably like quadrupled or blinking at least tripled in price, I'm sure, since I've bought it. So that was a result.
nice.
I can't wait for a Moon Knight movie. That'd be awesome. Just to see it, regardless of the book increasing.
Yeah,
I would just
definitely.
like to see it.
Yeah,
They're gonna do the Moon Knight show.
Yeah,
okay.
Disney Plus.
Someone's already been put through it, haven't they? That's kind of like double-edged sword because I'm trying to get the first Moon Knight run. I've got most of them. There's a few. For some reason, that's the one kind of ones that does my head in. For some reason, there's no key, but there's a certain cover that people like, and so it's like, and the Bill Sienkiewicz covers in that Moon Knight run for some reason command like silly prices. You know, some of them. It's like
and it's based just off the cover, like you said.
Yeah,
there's nothing. There's nothing particularly like amazing about the issue. It's just the cover.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I think that's how. Yeah, I think that's how Bill Sienkiewicz became pretty famous. Though. It's like that was one of the first things he did was like the Moon Knight,
and New Mutants. I think he did as well.
New Mutants. Yeah, he was in New Mutants with Chris Claremont.
Chris Claremont.
Yeah,
that's how I do that too.
But and then the first Moon Knight #1 from his own series, which goes for pretty decent money nowadays. The cover it's not very good at all. It's just because it's #1. Because #1s do that though. They do.
It's just him on the cover, really. Just him on the cover, standing there like looking ready for action or something. Isn't it? Yeah.
Right, and there's like a couple of like heads floating or something.
That happened with Hulk. Hulk. You know what? Okay. Well, I'll discuss all three books that I'm going to talk about. Hulk 181, no one can get it. So then they went to Hulk 180. Can't get that now because it's like way high. And then now people are going to Wolverine #1 limited series #1. And now that book is like ridiculous.
Right. And that one would use like a year ago is like maybe $30 to $50 book.
Yeah.
Like you could have could have got it off of eBay. Really, it was like it was one of those like Wolverine books that it's an iconic cover, and you can get it for 50. If you had a 50 spot in your wallet, you can definitely pick it up. And now it's like, oh,
yeah,
I missed out on that one.
Exactly. you need a handful of 50s if you had to get one to get it now, probably.
Well, that's the thing too now, right? If you see a cover and you really like it, and it's just maybe a tad bit out of your range, if your range is 20 and it's like $40, you might want to get it now because the way the market is, you wake up tomorrow, it might be a $300 book. So,
I forgot who.
Sorry.
I'll let you go ahead.
I was going to say, I was just thinking there's going to be like a cut-off for when comics are actually worth anything. Once all our old blinking comic book collectors start kicking up daisies, it's like with all these extra comics on the market, it's going to be like more supply than demand, probably.
You know why? You know why I think it'll be fine. I'm going to tell you why I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're moving further away from printed materials. I think everything's going to be just e-documents and e-books. It's just going to be e-books. And then if you have something that's printed, oh my God, you have an ancient printed thing. You know, it's like a museum thing.
Yeah, we'll see.
I could be wrong. But you know, it feels like that, right?
Maybe. I won't be around to see it, but
we got to be eco-friendly.
Yeah. I think that actually something like that recently happened with a DC book. I think it was Genlock 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Right. It was only supposed to be digital, but somehow it got printed and put into Walmart packs. Yeah. And now they're selling for like $100+ bucks.
Yeah, that's Silver Age Dave picked up a load. I don't know if you saw his video, because he actually did a video telling you how you can spot them in the pack, like by the colour. Like, and he was like, he basically gone in and bought about 10 of them ones with Genlock in.
Wow.
Apparently it was recalled and shredded. Apparently the ones that had been printed up.
Wow. Yeah, because it was they were going to just release it digital, and then somehow they got in the Walmart packs. They got distributed, and if you managed to find one, you got yourself, you know, nice $100 or.
It's weird though. Who's buying them? Because was anyone actually after them before that? Is it, you know? So is it just the fact that there's people out there who want to buy comics that are rare? Is that where the market is for that?
I think 50-50. I think you own something that nobody else has. And
yeah, I thought so.
I think 50-50. I think some people really they want to have that because they like the series, and it adds a degree of like scarcity. So they're like, oh, okay, I really want to get it now. And then half of it is just, can I flip this and make some money?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, right, if you, like you were saying, if you're collecting it and you collected like 1 through 4, let's say it was 5. I'm not sure it was 5 or 6, but you collected 1 through 4, and then like, oh, if you want 5, it's digital. You're like, but if you can find that number 5 and get it to complete your run, then you might pay a little bit extra too, right? So that probably explains why it's going for so much more, because a lot of people are completionists.
Yeah.
You can't just,
Well, how pissed off would that make you though? If like they decided to make it digital, then they accidentally put it, and you were collecting them all, and you want them all, and maybe it's going to be digital. Oh, bastard! And I was actually it's in the multi packs. Oh, but when we're calling the multi packs, and then suddenly it's like $100 to buy one. It'd be like, how pissed off would you be if that was you? That fucking bastard.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't buy it because I'd be pretty pissed off. But
some creators, I have like a weird. I don't want to. You want to go ahead?
No. So go ahead. My point wasn't very.
Like Martin Morazzo from the Ice Cream Man series and William Prince. I've watched some private interviews that people have done with Martin Morazzo. He's a really humble guy. He's someone who, even on here, if you invited him on, he'd probably come on and it would be a nice conversation if you wanted to talk about the series or ask him stuff. But I was watching a couple of interviews like that, and I like the series, like the artwork, like the writing. All the stories I've read up until this point have been entertaining, and I like collecting it. I'm going to continue to. And almost all of my motivation for wanting to do that is because I like the series and, it's entertainment value. Less so the monetary. That's probably like 1%. But because of this interview and getting to know him on a deeper level, more personal level, I like supporting him because he seems like a guy who genuinely was trying to make something for himself as a comic book creator. He lives in Argentina, so I don't know how that works. Image pays him, and I think he has like someone who handles that for him, but someone who's he explained his life. He struggled. A lot of people rejected him. He wanted to work at Marvel and DC, and both of them just kept giving him rejection letters. But finally, he found a little niche and got some exposure, and then built some credibility. And now he's got kind of a nice home at Image with the Ice Cream Man series.
That's good.
So after learning all that, sometimes I will buy a variant cover of his just to support him because I like the guy. He's a cool guy. Yeah.
That's a good story, man. That's good with like people who like don't give up on their dreams of like doing art for a living. and turn down my Marvel and DC and then to get popular and create characters and comics that people really like. So that's good.
Yeah, no, that's pretty awesome. I mean, I do a lot of the same, but obviously, more of the artists I support also have now blown up. But I remember supporting Scott Snyder actually lives maybe 15 minutes from me, whatever. So I remember when he was first coming out, he used to frequent our local comic shop. So I would buy his stuff when it came on the shelves, just because it was, he was somebody I saw, and he'd be like, "Hey, did you see my new book?" And he would actually be in the shop, kind of slinging his book.
That's cool, though.
Yeah. Like,
that's good.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, he's in the shop a lot less now, obviously, because then it becomes an autograph session.
He's made it.
Yeah. But I will. If I find somebody who seems like they're struggling a little bit too, and I like their stuff, I will also try to support their stuff, or even search it out. Even if if they're not big, do a little search and see if they're out there or whatever. So, but it's always cool. You always feel like you're part of the comic community when you do that. When you can support somebody who you like their work. So
yeah,
it feels good. Yeah.
Oh, my old man back's playing me out. Oh, those spines creaking. Oh.
Were those flames on your Superman shirt there?
Yeah, I don't know why it's a flame. I think this might be the death of Superman. I'm not too sure why it's a flaming. Why it's a flaming S. I'm never too sure about that. It might sound the label. I'm not too sure, but yeah.
That is sweet.
I haven't got that many geeky shirts. I've got a few, but not masses. I've got too many heavy metal shirts thinking to get geeky shirts in the closet as well,
So, but you're a big metal fan, right?
Big metal fan. Oh yeah, man, definitely.
Are they going to start doing concerts where you're at?
No, they've been. I think there's a regular monthly show that goes on in London. A mate of mine is Retribution Alive. He does a monthly show. We had to do them online for the past year. He's actually doing his first actual gig this month, but it's absolutely reduced capacity, seated only. So it's it's only a pub gig, but it's would normally be about a couple of hundred probably, and it's 40 people maximum. Oh, so all got to sit there. All got to sit there in their chairs, watching. It's it's not the same, but I don't think I'll rush out to it.
Yeah, I think in not that they're heavy metal, they're more hair metal, but in August I'm going to go see Def Leppard and Motley Crue.
Okay,
so
cool.
I'll see those guys. But yeah, they're actually going to allow. What was that?
They're allowing gatherings like that.
Yeah, it's outdoors. It'll be at Citi Field, which is where the New York Mets play, and that stadium holds. I think it holds somewhere close to 30,000, 20-something thousand plus, but they're only going to let in 10,000. So they're basically cutting it by 2/3.
Yeah.
So,
and everyone's spaced out.
And everybody's supposed to be spaced out. And you got to wear a mask and, the whole deal. And if you're vaccinated, you get to sit, a little bit closer. And if you're not vaccinated, you got to sit way up in the back.
There's a lot of bloody working out, isn't there? There's a lot of bloody working out for that kind of thing. I've had my first jab anyway. I was waiting for a second one, but you guys all jabbed up there?
Yeah. I got both my shots.
Both doses, cool. Because New York was quite bad, weren't they, for the corona for quite a while? I think there was.
It was bad for a while.
There.
Yeah. We were at one point. I think we were the epicenter, but then other places took over. So, they basically shut everything down real quick. And
this is quite a dense population, isn't it? So that's got to be the worst factor, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Everybody's on top of each other.
Exactly. Yeah, in each other's pockets almost. Where are you, I Relief? What part of the world are you in?
I'm in California.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying it on a stream the other night. Who was you on a stream with the other night? You actually answered that question there, and I'd forgotten it already. I remember you telling somebody else who's from California just a couple of nights ago on a stream. He wasn't on Genome, was you? Was you on Genome?
Yeah, I was
Maybe
on
that was
Genome
it.
Presents.
Yeah,
Because
that
we
must
were
be
all
it.
in different time zones, I think.
Yeah, because California and New York got to be different times, isn't they? Because they're completely other sides of the world, aren't they? Or
Yeah, it's a
of the,
3-hour difference.
Yeah.
crazy. That's
And then
crazy,
the
man.
other person that was on with us was right in the middle, so there were 2 hours. They were
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, we have I think 4 different time zones in the America here, the U.S.
Yeah, yeah. Is it Eastern, Western, or something? Central, Mountain, Hammer Time is my favourite one. It even got its own song. That one, it even got its own song. The other time, the zones never got their own song, man. So you got to admit, Hammer Time's the best.
Hammer Time's a good time.
Oh dear. You guys got favourite artists? Are you like? I was never. I mean, I didn't even recognize artists. I was like, when I was, because I'd say I always read my comics on my own, so no one would ever talk to me about the comics. I just read them, like the characters, and never ever paid attention to who did the art or even who did the story. So I'm really rubbish. I'm really rubbish at knowing who done the art on most things. Are you guys good with the artists, or?
Do you mean like mainstream artists or just
anyone recognizing the classics or whatever? It always amazes me people hold up a comic book. Oh yeah, that's a Gene Colan or whatever. Oh yeah, that's a Sal Buscema. And I'm like, unless it says Sal Buscema anywhere, I wouldn't know who it was. You know what I mean?
Right.
But are you good at that, or is it one of those?
I sometimes. I mean, I'm as good as most people are in general. You know, like. Most people can recognize Todd McFarlane's art.
Yeah.
Like that's the skill level I am at recognizing.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking 90s, Todd and Jim Lee. Earlier than that, maybe some Zek, Buscema.
Oh, that's
yes.
Is that
McFarlane.
Is it McFarlane?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's Todd, classic Todd. There's a story behind, I think, something like that. He was under the gun for.
He messed up the cape.
He made a mistake right here.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be part of the moon right here, and he actually colored it red.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
But also, he has a story about capes too, and he's like, anytime you're under the gun, he's like, just draw a cape because you can make a cape as big as you need, and it'll just cover. It's like a coverall.
Is that why Spawn's got so much capage going on?
Right, because I think originally when he first came out with Spawn, right, he was doing the covers and he was writing it, and he was like, I got to.
Spawn's got to be the hardest one to draw. All them chains, all them spikes, all that cape.
Right. And it seems like he's always mutating, right? Like there's always some new look. He's chains without a cape, with a cape,
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, like favorite artists. There's a lot of them I think I can name, but like everybody was saying, McFarlane's a big one. I didn't quite like Jim Lee as much back then as I do now. He seems to have a lot more. He seems to have grown as an artist, right? So if we compare like the 90s guys like Rob Liefeld, very stagnant. To me anyway. What he drew back then is kind of what he draws now. But if you look at somebody like Jim Lee, what he drew back then to what he draws now, pretty different. Walt Simonson is another guy I like. I just like, he just seems to have a lot of... add like a lot of detail, and he has some funny stories. I spoke to him once at a con, and he was like, he's like, when like he drew a lot of Incredible Hulk early on in his career, or he drew some Incredible Hulk, but he was like, we picked purple because purple kind of stands out, right? Backgrounds are always blue, whatever. He's like, purple, just a lot easier on the printers, a lot easier to just draw purple pants and, just let the printer go and do its thing. I don't have to put as much detail in this because purple it just pops. So it's like I don't have to add extra lines to the purple. So yeah, Walt Simon.
Did a lot of Thor as well, didn't he? Did a lot of Thor, didn't he, Walt Simonson?
He did a lot of Thor. Yeah, Thor was his big run because he got to draw it and he got to write it. He was one of those first guys who got to do the script and Android. So
he's got a little dinosaur signature as well. It looks like a little dinosaur. But
it's
that's
pretty
him,
cool.
isn't it?
Yeah, because it's pretty long. It's pretty cool. And then recent guys. Oh, sorry. It's probably like Ryan Stegman. I like the Venom he's been doing lately. And another guy I really like is Mark Bagley. The original, like Mark Bagley when he was doing the Spider-Man run the first time. I enjoyed.
He's doing
that.
an in-house signing right now. If you're interested, at CGC, you could mail in your book and have him sign it.
Well, I'm very interested. I'll go check that out. Awesome.
Yeah, I've never done any of that yet. All that slabbing and paying for signatures. 'Cause it takes money out of buying new comics or new comics you didn't have before. So maybe one day when I bought all the comics that I need, but that could be a long, long, long way off.
It's true. I'm probably looking. I have a very small. Well, not very small. I think it's very small, but I probably have about 20 slabs that I'm kind of looking at right now. But a lot of them I got at the cons. I went to cons for a few years, and I say after like my 4th or 5th con, I got brave enough to be like, "Ooh, what is this slabbing thing?" and like explore it. And that was only like the 5th con. By the 6th con, I was actually braver to go and be like, "How do I get this book put into a slab?" And the first one I got slabbed was actually a Scott Snyder book, and that was cool because when I went up to him to get my book slabbed, it was away from where I live, and he was like, "Oh, I know you," and I was like, "I know you." So it was.
I don't trust. I like. There's a comic mart in London. It was running when it wasn't Corona. It was running, and there's like a booth there for CGC. And so I'm looking at these fellas. I don't know if I'm Adam, and they're sitting there with a board, some paper or whatever. And I don't know these guys. I'm not about to go and give them my book and then give them some money to really will take my book off me and give me a little piece of paper as a receipt. I don't know. I don't know they'll even I don't know, just buy that stall, set up a fake blinking CGC sign. I'm not risking it.
That's the biggest thing, right? Is you get like this just slip of carbon paper.
Yeah.
And you have to trust that this slip of paper that it doesn't even, when they write on it, it doesn't press through the other side. So you have a blank piece of paper with like a number on it. And you have to trust. You have to trust that one day you will get that book back.
They don't deliberately steal it and put something else in its place or mix it up with somebody else's book or something like that. I did a video my other day, my top 5 slabs and my bottom 5 slabs. But as I've only got 5 slabs, I sort of showed the same load of books twice.
That's awesome.
I hear people like top 5 videos, so I thought I'd go with it, but didn't work.
You can't. It's hard to do a top and bottom 5 when you only have 5.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. I thought it was funny anyway.
No, that's hilarious.
I'm gonna have to call this a night in a minute because it's nearly 3 a.m. So we'll give it 4 more minutes. Let's get to 3 a.m. and I think Captain Comics is doing a stream now. You guys can go and jump on his stream maybe. I'm not sure if he's taking visitors, but you can go and say hello at least. Anyway, you guys got anything coming up that you want to finish off telling people about? We've already got 3 people watching, but if you want to tell the 3 people in chat what you're up to coming up.
As far as comic books?
Or whatever you want to, or comic books or whatever else you're doing on your channel.
Just picking up back issues of New Mutants. That's it. That's nothing super exciting. I mean,
Is that your focus at the moment? You just want to get the New Mutants run?
Is that the first cameo of Cable?
I think that's what it is. Or something like that.
I got a New Mutants today. I got was it 3rd print or something like that? 2nd print.
Oh yeah.
Gold.
Oh my god. What did you get that for?
Only a $5. It's only cheap. I think it's
nice.
Yeah,
that's a good price for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that book's recently started picking up.
Does it? That's cool.
Because there was a 9.8.
So there's a black square. I've never seen the black square before.
Yeah, last month there was a 9.8 that sold for like $60,
Right.
And now that book I think last sold for about 120, so it's doubled.
Okay.
Doubled in value.
So that book, even though
the
it's
9.8. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say because the 9.8 of the first print is going for a couple hundred now, so I think people are trying to save quite a bit.
Maybe it's weird because like sometimes like the later prints are worth more than the first print because there's less of them.
It's true.
It seems different rules for different comic books sometimes. Like what's the cameo? What's the first appearance? Different rules. Depends who it is. Depends which one the market has decided is the book.
Yeah, I think for the 90s books, it's still like first print holds a little bit more value, but as you get out of the 90s, it seems to have swapped, and the second prints seem to have gained.
But that one deserves a Mylar.
I haven't got any Mylars. The only Mylars I have are the ones that people give me comic books in every now and again. I haven't even got all my books bagged and boarded. I was such a cheapskate. Because when I was collecting, they didn't have there wasn't selling bags and boards, so I just bunged them in boxes, and that was it. And then I sort of started getting a few bags, and I put 5 or 6 in one bag, and no ball, just 5 or 6 in a bag. At least doing bags. But yeah, if I was to try and get bags and boards for all my comics now, I'd have to get some more boxes because they wouldn't fit back in the boxes anymore. And like I've got enough boxes as it is already, and it's just. And also, it cost me a bloody bomb because bags and balls are expensive. I've come up with a new fee. I mentioned it on a video the other day. You got a big farmer who wants you to buy all their medicine. I'll call it Big Bag and Boulder. They're trying to convince you have to have bags and balls for every comic, but don't listen to them. They're just trying to get your money off you. Yeah. 6 in one bag is enough.
just the big ones, just the big books and bags and balls.
Yeah, that's it exactly. They don't all need bags and balls.
So when I'm done here, I'm actually going to post it was loading back here on my Facebook, which you can't see because it's whitewashed, but I'm going to post a FOC video. So Sunday, wherever you are, is DC orders are due for books that you'll get on June 1st. And for Marvel, these are books coming out for June 2nd. You can put those orders in Monday. But if you want to guarantee a copy, that video will be about what books are coming out. To guarantee yourself a copy. And if you go to certain online vendors or even your local comic shop, you can usually save 20 to 30% if you order in advance. Okay. So that's what I do is I usually go out and I'll look at the books coming out like 3 weeks early and try to figure out what I want to save some money on. And then I throw it out there so you guys know, what books I'm looking at and what books you can save a little money on. So like a usual $3.99 book, if you save 30%, will come out to like $2.79 or something like that. So it's like $2.80. So less than $3 for newer books if you get them FOC. So final order cutoff is what it's called. And basically what it is before it goes to the printer. So shops know how many to order. What's that?
How come you get them cheaper then? I don't understand how you get them cheaper. How does that work?
So because a lot of stores will want to know how many to order so they don't over order. So if you put in an order with them like 3 weeks early, they cut you a deal too, because they also get a deal for ordering in bulk. So stores, if a store is like, I need, 1,000 copies, they'll work something out with the distributor where they'll get, the books a little cheaper too. So if they know they need like 2,000 copies of some book, like Something's Killing the Children 16 is coming out. They know they need like 10,000 copies. They'll go to their distributor and be like, I need to order like 10,000 copies.
Not one shop's not going to order that many, surely. Who orders that many? The whole business as a whole?
Maybe like Midtown Comics. Very few out there in the world. But
I don't know. I'm even asking because I don't buy any modern comics. So it doesn't make any difference to me. I would just go.
Oh yeah, so yeah, with the modern comics, like if you get them, the sooner you get them, usually the cheaper they are. But you're also just like banking on this book being good 3 weeks in advance. So it may not be very good. So you may waste some money ordering it early.
Do it.
But
Do it.
Marvel's number one. Get it.
Do it.
I don't even look when I go to the comic shop, which is very, very rare. I don't even look at the stuff that's come out. I just go to the store. I just go pick through the blinking back issues. That's all I do, really.
I do appreciate going to a store that has a lot of like back issue bins. Like when I walk in, that feels like home. If there's a lot of big bins, if I walk into a store that's just the wall of comics, I'm kind of like, all right.
A lot of them are expensive though. The back issue bins are quite expensive. You get a few like 50. There's one shot that there's a lot of 50p bins, and it's like what you expect for 50p. It's like crap, like rubbish. But I've got a lot of like cheap runs that I want to fill anyway. But the better comics are stupid prices sometimes. Like, yeah, you charge 18 quid for that comic. You sure? I ain't paying 18 quid for that. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. There's one shop that's kind of weird because they get some like nice cheap ones, like cheaper than you'd expect. But he's like, well, if I put too much price on it, it's going to sit there forever. I'd rather put a quid and get them out the door. You know, so it's like, yeah, it suits me. I've got a nice bunch of Luke Cage and Iron Fist for a quid each, and I was like, yeah, bloody hell. Anyway, cheers for coming on, guys. I'm blathering now. I'm talking rubbish. I think I'm too tired. I'm like talking nonsense. So I'm gonna get out of here. Gonna go and get some shower. I've got to get out tomorrow and do my heavy metal podcast. So if you guys dig heavy metal, check out my heavy metal podcast. I'll see you guys soon. Yeah.
All right.
Always.
Let me just finish with this. Let me finish with this little video because this is just it makes me laugh every time.
Grey amazing.
I don't know why I'm laughing now. I've watched that about a million times. It makes me giggle every time. I don't know why. It's the bit of stuff at the end. It's just like, what the fuck am I doing? Anyway, I'll see you guys later before I